I'm gonna watch right away. All right.
Clean up my office before this.
It's the Spacemen with Guns Covenant of Fire Christmas Holiday Special. Wonderful cavalcade of characters. Of course, myself, my good friend Devin, the boys from the Covenant of Fire, Pretty and Jake, and returning my hashtag Heresy fam, Mr. Jamie Jackson.
Wait, so I've got to ask George. So is Jamie Heresy fam to us as well, since he's Heresy fam to you?
Well, we're Eskimo Bros.
That's what I was trying to get at. Is that what's going on here?
So, like,
wait a minute. I feel like I need to catch up on this Eskimo Bro shit.
We're all Eskimo Bros here.
I was hoping I would get to explain this. So
we've all beat George.
No,
that was also in his notes.
Hey, we tied.
The one in all the games, George.
That's the night before. So an Eskimo brother. So say me and Jake at different times, or it could have been at the same time, banged the same chick.
No, I understand the principle of what one is. I haven't lived on the moon. It's the heresy piece. Because it's like it suggests that me and Jake at some point both completely fucked you up on the table.
No, Jake has not.
No, it's totally consensual. It's not. This is this is.
Yeah.
I took it that you slept in my spare bedroom.
I did do that
because I've got a full list of Heresy alum that have slept in my spare bedroom at this point.
There should be a wall in your house, Pretty, that everybody's.
I'm trying to work that out. So I've got Tim and Michael from IF4 that slept in my bedroom, in the bed at the same time, mind you, together.
Creepy.
Yeah, no judgment. We also had Freddie the Swede, who we all know and love, has come and slept in my bedroom, my spare bedroom, not mine. George has slept there. Jake has slept there. I think Josh from TFL has laid his head upon the pillow once or twice. So
that should have been something that was disclosed prior to me sleeping in that bed.
Well, he's never stayed the night, just in the midst of like
just
holiday parties and what have you.
The heresy part is like you and I have played a game, Jamie.
Yes.
So then, since I have played a game with you and I have played a game with Pretty,
yes,
Pretty is your Heresy Eskimo brother.
Yes.
I get it. Okay, now I get it. All right.
Yeah.
And see, I played a game against Pretty.
Yep.
So that puts me in the same Eskimo brethren circle as all of you guys.
Yeah, it's almost like 6 degrees of separation.
Actually,
based on me.
All of us here tonight are. Some of us are hashtag Heresy fam, but all of us are Eskimo brothers.
This is not creepy at all.
So someone just tuning in is going to be like, which chick did they all fuck at the same time?
I don't remember that whole.
I don't remember signing up for this.
You're the same chick.
I thought we were going to bitch about the Space Wolf models for 2 hours.
Hey, we still got plenty of time for that. And I got plenty of booze to get me there.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to hit that whiskey, Jake.
Ooh, yeah. Well, folks, we are gathered here tonight to celebrate the holiday season with my close Heresy fam, of course, and just kind of get together and celebrate with our good friends from the Covenant of Fire. You know, I think Jake and Jamie have probably been on the show more than anybody else. Actually, they probably on the show more than Devin has. Yeah. So we're here. We're gonna do the usual things. We're gonna talk about the games that we've played and what we've been working on. We're talk about some of the awesome Heresy stuff. And, since we're close to the end of the year as well, kind of give a recap on how the year's been for us in Heresy, and then our wonderful Christmas segment, courtesy of Jake, is the 3 things you want Heresy Santa to leave under your tree.
Ooh,
so that's going to be good. As many of you might remember, last year I released Lorgar's a Bitch on Christmas Day. There will be a Christmas song this year. I haven't gotten it done yet. When you hear this episode, it will be Christmas Day or just after, so you will get the Christmas song, which is going to be a good one because I've literally been working on it for a year.
So is it fake news to say that Lorgar has a clapback, so to speak, coming up this year?
No,
because he's
I think I might need to do something to help Lorgar out.
Yeah, I'm thinking also that in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I got time. I was thinking something like Bobby G chokes on dicks or something like that. Just use that, and then I'm just gonna like Eminem style rap off the back of it.
Hey, Jamie, can we duet on that?
Yeah. You could come in and guess.
Yes,
you could be my hype. You could be my hype guy. So I'll be like, he chokes on a bag of dicks, and you'll be like, dicks.
I'm
pretty. I know what you can do. You can be like the hot like R&B or pop star that always comes in and sings the chorus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just like sucking a dick.
This
is still happening, Jamie. I'm gonna get with you after we finish up tonight. So
all right.
I can't wait to hear it, guys. I can't wait to hear it.
All right.
So, why don't we start off? Jamie, what you been working on?
Well, that's a good question. Considering I just had my first child.
Congratulations, man.
My wife had the first child, clearly. I've actually got a lot done. Like being off work, looking after a kid who just sleeps and shits his pants. You get a lot done if you have an understanding wife. So I've done some stuff in the 40K world, so I won't bore you all with that because I'm sure you don't want to hear about it. But I'm currently building a mastodon.
Woohoo!
A what?
A mastodon. Sorry,
mastodon.
The mastodon. I've doing that. I built. I started on a loyalist Death Guard force this year.
Oh, nice.
Attaboy.
So yeah, it's been fun actually. I'll come back to it in the games played, but we're redoing book 1, me and a bunch of friends. And I was like, you know what? Nice. I love Death Guard. I kind of want to do a loyalist side of them because I think it'd be fun. So I've been doing that. And then I've been building a couple of the armigers, the little knights. Because I want to build out my House Maccabeus, I think they're called, the sort of traitor knights.
Yes.
I've got the Porphyron done up in that, which I don't know if any of you saw, but it got shipped from England, and the removals guys put it in the bottom of a box with all of my like hefty downhill pedals from my mountain bike, which then just got shook around on a boat for 2 months and completely fucking obliterated the Porphyron.
So wait, hang on just a second. What type of boat took 2 months to cross the Atlantic?
Well,
a slow one.
A big fat boat. I don't know. They don't send stuff on speedboats.
I haven't shipped anything by sea since 1912.
It's not cocaine. It's not coming on cigarette boats.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's slow going. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is my Porphyron was fucking smashed to pieces, Chris. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
No, you're right. I got focused on the wrong thing. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of boat it was or who was shipping it or whatever.
Anyway, that was a good question.
I asked the tough question.
And that's why you come to the Covenant of Fire, is for those kind of questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some might call it fake news, but I'm a journalist at heart. So that was my first major.
Possibly alternative facts.
Come for the heresy. Come for the heresy. Stay for the shipping information.
Yes.
and tax talk.
Yes. Yeah. Tax talk.
So anyway, back to the point.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to rebuild it. So I kind of got it back together again, and it wasn't too bad. But I just fell in love with it all over again when I was looking at it, and I was like, it'd be fun. It's to do those little armigers as like little outrider kind of, defensive knights. And then I've got a couple of is it the Acastus Knight, the one with the chainsword thing, and the heavy, like the Hurricane Bolter, four-wheeled one. Is it Acastus?
The Castigator? Is that
Castigator? Yeah. I happened upon 2 of those, so I'm gonna basically finish the Maccabeus with the Porphyron, 2 of those, and then 2 armigers, all in the same livery.
How did you happen across 2 Castigators?
Yeah.
Was it in a box, free nights,
across,
just laying around?
Well, you see, there was this boat that took 2 months to get across the Atlantic.
You know what?
Yeah.
It actually was, Devin. It was in a box of free nights. So my friends own a games company who made the Free Blade game. I don't know if you played it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a cool little game.
Yeah. So my buddies made that, and they got sent a shit ton of stuff.
Oh wow!
And I went to visit them, and they were like, "Here, look at all this stuff," and I was like, "Do you need it?" And they were like, "No, help yourself." So I was like, "Hurt you?" And
Rub that shit into the shirt and run.
I got out of there with like 2 knights. I bought one of the Forge World tiles and the whatever the Games Workshop box that had the Armigers and the Mechanicum and the Gene Stealer cult in. I got
Forge
all
Bane.
of that. Yeah.
Forge World, yeah.
Yeah.
Forge Bane.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so that's me. I've been doing that, and I'm kind of a local group starting a new campaign up to next year. So I feel like now's the time to Space Wolf up the Mastodon.
Nice.
That's a proper longboat.
I dig it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have banana fur on it.
Oh, I'm gonna. And speaking of, I could just put one big banana on it.
There you go.
That's what I was hoping for, was one big banana down the side. Each
Yeah,
side.
just go and buy you like a whole mess of bananas all still connected and just like lay them on top of it. Just kind of.
But I would prefer a plantain banana.
Ooh, cool. All right.
Just getting particular.
Just half peel it and shove it in the front doors.
Yeah.
I've
I'll do
been
that.
known to do that.
Just for you guys.
All
But that's
right.
me. Apart from a bunch of 40K stuff that you don't want to hear about, that was me.
All right. Awesome stuff. Jake, how about
Yes.
you? No, you've been busy as hell.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for Adepticon. Hey, Jamie, are you coming to Adepticon?
When is it?
It's in March the 27th, 28th, 29th, I think.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it
Okay, fine.
next time.
So I've been trying to. Basically, I had been in a hobby funk because my hobby room it looked like a bomb had went off in there, and it was it was objectively a terrible space. The kind of thing that I close the door and I'd open it and get embarrassed for myself and then close it back. So and my workspace was really, really shitty. And so I decided that I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to buy a $42 folding table. And that folding table has changed my life. Like, I can't even describe the ways. Tonight is actually the first night since I bought my folding table that I have not hobbied. And that was like 3 weeks ago. But so I've been trying to really get onto my Adepticon stuff. And I've got two. I'm taking 3 different armies, and all of them are pretty much unpainted or unassembled or came in a box brand new.
Brave man.
So I've got for day 1. So I'm playing in Gomeza day 1. So that's a Centurion, and I'm taking 1,500 points worth of Space Wolves. And then day 2, I'm doing Adeptus Titanicus with Pretty. So I've got to come up with 1,250 points, which is going to be a Warlord and 2 Reavers and a Night Banner. And they are like from nothing. Like, I haven't even hardly started on them. I've got 1 Warlord kind of halfway started. And then for the 3rd day, I'm doing the Gomeza day 3, which is like bring 2,000 points and you're going to play paired games. And I wanted to build a new Salamander army because I had the idea bouncing around in my head forever and ever about a Tempest Galleries style termite based breacher army. So, and it's all like, I didn't have any of the models with it beforehand. So it's brand spanking new. So where I am standing right now with my Space Wolves, everything except for everything's base coated. I've got 2 squads or 2 packs of Slayers done. I've got my Claw Leader done. I've got a Wolf Priest done. I've got a Rune Priest done. I've got a Leviathan done, and all I have left is 1 more Slayer pack, and it's got base coated colors on it. It's ready for transfers. And then I've got 2 Contemptor Corduses that are base coated, and one of them have started painting the gold on. So I'm really, other than ordering some cool resin bases for them, because resin bases ruin everything. Because once you've used resin bases on an army, you can never go back. Like, everything, you'll make a shitty base and you'll go, oh, that's a shitty base. I'm going to go buy some resin bases because they're faster, they're easier, they look better. Like, there's no downside at all. So I've got to go buy the whole army resin bases. But other than that, they're pretty close.
So who are you, or what resin bases are you considering?
So for all of my salamanders are on Dragonforge because I love the Dragonforge bases. The only problem with Dragonforge is that they take a lot of time. So I ordered all of those back in August, and I just got them this past week.
Oh, wow.
They look incredible. The problem is that now that I've decided I want to go resin base on my Space Wolves, I don't think that I have time to order them through Dragonforge anymore and make sure that they get here by Adepticon. So what I'll probably do, and because I don't really want to order them right now, I want to, maybe order them in a couple of weeks. But what I'm probably going to end up doing is ordering them from Secret Weapon.
Yeah.
Because I can get them pretty fast, and they've got some stuff. I like some of their stuff. I think the Dragonforge stuff tends to look better. But I'm probably going to go with either some kind of the sand or desert pattern, because I kind of want to have that Prospero look.
Have you seen the ones from Unreal Wargaming?
No.
I'm going to say new.
You should check them out. They're super dope. I haven't bought any yet. A lot of my buddies back in England have used their tile stuff, and they've started to do some just bases, and they're really neat. And they've got a lot of destroyed city stuff. Which
that Urban Rebel resin base looks badass.
Yeah, and if you go Prospero, it doesn't have the carvings, which I don't think is a big deal, but I think they're pretty sick, man. I like them, and from what I hear, the quality is they
look good. So yeah, I may check these out. If the most important thing to me is getting a turnaround time on them.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check on that. But my salamanders, I have got my 3 termites built, and I've got them base coated with metallic, so that way I'm going to do, and that's one thing that I've really enjoyed painting these 2 different armies, because with my salamanders, everything is a metallic sponge chip, and then I started getting into using hairspray or chipping fluid to kind of paint the metallic, then paint your base colors, paint them all the way up, and then go back and create your own battle damage. So I get to do that with my salamanders, but with my my Space Wolves, I'm using sponging. I'm sponging like a Mournfang brown, so a dark brown, and then Ryza Rust, which turns out looks really awesome. Sponging that Ryza Rust on, it gives just enough of kind of little pops of orange kind of mix out, and then hitting it with the AK Interactive Streaking Grime for Panzer Grey. And if I could find old Miguel Jimenez or whatever, I would kiss him on the face for inventing this stuff, because it's changed my life. It and my folding table are the 2 greatest things to ever happen in hobby. So
yeah, I would. This
Okay.
increase in his abilities lately. He has just been cranking out some top-notch work.
I've been super. I'm sure everybody's tired of seeing them, but I've been super happy with the way they've turned out.
They are turning out one.
I think I've loved watching what you've been doing, because you've posted it through the stages, and you posted it when it had the high gloss on it.
Yeah.
And you posted it when you knocked it back. And I think it's if no one's ever done that technique, your photos do a really good job of showing people why you do the gloss, then what that helps, and then how it kind of ties it back together with them. I thought it's been really cool.
Yeah, what I really want people to understand, especially about this if you use this kind of technique where you're painting the base colors, you're glossing it, then you're putting your transfers on, then you gloss it, then you hit it with your sponge weathering and chipping, and then you gloss it, and then you put the either oil or what I'm using, which is the AK Interactive, or really any of that kind of stuff, and then matte it. But what you need to understand about the whole process is that your model is going to look like hot dog shit up until the very last step. You're going to hate it until you put that last coat of oil on it, and then you clear it away and then matte it, and you'll go, my God, where's this thing been? So don't freak out. If you're first time, this is the first time I've really messed with some of the oil, anything other than a GW wash. And it's kind of the same concept. It looks like dog crap until you put, your wash on it, and know that it's okay. It'll be fine. Everything will work out.
It's fine. The first time I did that technique was on my word bearers, and I remember laying the gloss on it, and I was like, "Oh shit! It looks like a toenail," and like a hooker's toenail. And but then when I got that, when I kind of say when you went through the process and you finish that thing and it dries, you're like, "Oh, thank God for that!" And it looks great.
And the cool thing is with that I've learned with, and I haven't tried this with a standard oil wash, but with the AK Interactive, it's to me it's like the perfect blend of an oil wash versus a like a GW wash, because a GW wash is not very controllable. You put it on, you try to get it off, but it can be streaky. You have to use a lot of water to dilute it. To me, it's not very easy to work once it's on there. The oil washes, I could never get the consistency right, and it would always go on too thick, and then I wasn't able to really get it off very well. This stuff, it's already pre-mixed. It's about $7 or $8 for a thing of it, and you can cover the model in it, and then you dip it in white spirits, and you just brush it away, and you can brush down and pull away some cool. But even if it gets kind of streaky, it does not sit. It's not real thick, so it won't ever look like a wavy surface. It just grinds it up and makes it ugly and gross, and it's super cool. So that's what I've been doing, and it's awesome. And if you're scared, if you've ever tried oil washes and they didn't work for you, or like you did like I did and kind of spooked yourself out of it, this stuff is like oil washing for dummies, and it's a really, really great product. And I'm super happy I found it, because I haven't really painted on my Space Wolves since last Adepticon, because I was afraid I couldn't find a technique I liked, and I was afraid they were going to keep looking like shit, and I was afraid my army never was going to look like what I wanted it to look like. And this stuff really got me. I mean, I don't know that I've ever been as happy with a painted army as I'm getting with these guys.
As well, you should be, because it looks awesome.
Well, thank you, friend. And just real quick, this is from my boy Garrett. Here you are, Garrett.
I feel we need to talk about the Covenant of Fire Adepticon Accountability Buddies.
Yes, so Adepticon Accountability Buddies. It's an awesome group that we've started. There's probably, about 10 or 12 of us now.
Yeah.
We have a chat on Facebook. We have a Facebook, like a closed group. And what it is it's designed, the whole purpose of it is to, number one, flood you with pictures of miniatures to kind of soft shame you if you're not doing stuff, to go and hobby because everybody else is hobby. And it's also to share ideas. It's to bounce, conversion ideas off each other. Hey, does this look good? Does this look stupid? What do you think of this? And we actually have a weekly goals. So you set a weekly goal, and we have a tracking sheet, a shared Google tracking sheet that has all of your Adepticon models in it. And then you can go in and update it. And every Monday we have to go in, post to our Facebook page. Here's what we've accomplished. Here's what we plan to do going forward. And here's the tracking sheet. So that way you can see, okay, visually, because that's the kind of guy. Number one, I'm a tracking guy. I do that for a living. I do project controls. So I'm all about spreadsheets, graphs, charts. Let me track things. So that helps me. And number two, I'm a visual guy. So being able to see it and go, okay, I'm actually a lot further ahead than I thought I was. Or you look at it and you go, I got a lot of ground to pick up. So if you want to be part of the Covenant of Fire Accountability Buddies program, send us a Facebook message. Send me a Facebook message, or send it to the Covenant of Fire, and we will get you added to the group. We will get you put onto the spreadsheet, and you can go get your shit done and ready for Adepticon with us.
You did mention there is some soft shaming, but there is also some hard shaming.
There's some very hard shaming.
Don't meet your goals.
Yeah.
Well, let me just ask, has anyone been subjected to the Cheney yet?
No, I gave somebody a pass because of some personal stuff.
Okay.
I think the 1 week somebody was on track to get a Richard Gere pick. Wait. A
Richard Gere pick is a gerbil in the ass.
Ooh.
Okay. Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
No one has yet.
Jazzercise?
When the concept of this was brought about, so go listen to the last episode of Covenant of Fire and you can hear about it. I was, unbeknownst to me, designated the taskmaster. So
yes, George is he was already mine and Pretty's kind of hobby taskmaster. He was always soft shaming us with sending us all these pictures of his awesome shit while we would be sitting there playing video games and drinking.
He was kind of voluntold.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, voluntold.
I'm a natural at it, so I'm good at threatening people to pictures of famous Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely check it out. If you're going to be coming to Adepticon and you want motivation to get your stuff done, definitely join in on the fun.
I will tell you that I'm the world's worst when it comes to procrastination and just letting things get in the way of hobby.
Yes.
And this group, I've gotten more hobby done in the last 3 weeks than I haven't, and I'm not kidding, than I have in 6 months.
Truth be told, Pretty has probably gotten the closest to regular shaming. Just yelling at him to start working on his shit.
I have accomplished, I would say, 75% of each weekly goal.
It's okay if I join the group. I'll be able to make you feel better.
Yeah. Well, it's you know, here's, you know, I run, for those of you that don't know, I run a grocery store. That's my daily gig, and it's the holidays. So I've been working 12-hour days. I've been bringing work home, working on my days off, but I have been getting hobby done. So that's why I say this group has been great, because even given all of that, I've gotten more hobby done than I have in 6 months, which is amazing. Which I just I love. I'm so happy with it. And I feel this is the first time in probably 4 years that I feel like I'm going to be ready for Adepticon, because the last 4 years, easy, it's been like the week before, I'm like, holy fuck, I've got to paint 1,500 points. And yeah, no, this isn't happening.
I was playing day one of Adepticon last year. I was playing in a 3 versus 3 game. And I was during the opponent's turn, I was painting models sitting at the table to get ready for the next game.
I remember that.
I don't want to be in that situation ever again.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here.
There goes.
The last 2 years, I've worked in my hotel room in between events on my army, and it fucking sucks. So
there's a lot to be said for the motivation you gain of not wanting to have a picture of another dude's penis show up in your inbox.
Yes.
Well, which dude is it?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you send people's pictures of penises to people to shame them,
That's George's job.
and somebody designated George this job.
That was us.
He kind of self-designated the dick sending.
I don't want pictures of dicks on my hard drive. We'll make George do it.
We'll make. We
Well,
just assumed he had like a plethora, like an ample supply to pull from.
I mean, he plays Ultramarines.
Dicks.
I just assumed his iCloud was like on the 10 gig plan, and it's full of dicks. That's what I thought.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can't hit the nail on the head there, you know. So figured I was a natural for it.
I mean, you do know how to search for a good dick.
Okay, so Devin, what have you been working on?
I've been working on the salamanders. I've got that Volkite squad that's not quite done yet, but getting some more progress in on them. Been working on Krieg as well, because I got to get that stuff ready for Adepticon. And I'm really hoping to entice my friend to play it as militia in some heresy, but he's one of those that switched to 8th and isn't so keen on switching back. So hopefully I can shame him into it. Other than that, not a whole lot. I've had a lot of other projects keeping me pretty busy lately.
Devin, are you going to Adepticon?
I am, yes.
Excellent.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get into as many heresy events as I would have liked to have. But I did get Gamiza day 3, and I did sign up for the night fight.
Rock and roll. We'll be there on day 3.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right. So sounds like you probably need to join the accountability buddies.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
that's what
much.
I'm thinking. Yes.
Well, that's a fixable problem.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Pretty. What you been doing?
I've been doing a whole lot. Let's
Good.
just say that. So I've got a lot of irons in the fire. So this year I commissioned some stuff out so that I can focus on one army and still take place in a couple of other types of events. So the amazing Zach Padgett is painting my Adeptus Titanicus stuff. So he'll be taking care of that for me. So that's done. Samson is painting my Warhound Titan. So that's off the books. Thank you. That's going to be fucking badass whenever I get it back at Adepticon. So what I'm working on is a 3,000 point list for Adepticon that will scale down for Gomeza Day 3. The 3,000, I'm in the small group Mechanicum on, I think it's Thursday, if I remember correctly, which is a 3,000 v 3,000 event. So I'm working on that. I've had some setbacks. I had done some tests. So my army is around a trench, a World War I trench type theme. And I had done some test models for Mechanicum Thralls with heavy chain blades this past year. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go with 40 of those guys as part of my army. And without thinking, I ordered 40 Thralls, but I ordered the wrong Thralls. I ordered the Lazelock Thralls, which the arms are not suited for conversion to chain blades. So I now have 40 Thralls that are absolutely fucking useless to me in this army. But thankfully, I've switched gears, and I am going to run Skillax as my main troop choice, which I have a bunch of already. I ordered a small group more. Gonna throw some rotor cannons in there. But just the vision of them like crawling out of trenches with the Macandrites and the rotor cannons I thought was very fitting. I've got Macarius Vulcan that is built and ready for priming.
It's so sick.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That model, I've looked at it in pictures, but I've never seen one in person. I ordered it. It was a dream to build. It was a great fucking model to build, other than 2 gap issues that I fixed that were on the bottom. So my fix wasn't the best, but you're never going to see them. Perfect for World War I theme battles. I also ordered a Ordo Reductor Minotaur artillery battery. That, again, is another great World War I themed model. I've got that. That's about half built right now. But I think I'm at the point I'm probably going to prime it as is to ease the painting of some of the interior bits. So that's what I'm looking at right now for my next day off. But I've got that. I've got some Vulturax, which are going to be kind of flying over the battlefield. So Krios Venators that are built. Karachnos artillery tank or assault tank that I've ordered just to fit with the theme of Ordo Reductor. I've got a new Caleb Decima model. So that's kind of what I've been working on the last several weeks. I ordered all of the paints that I'm going to use for the theme, which again, focusing on British World War I tank paint themes. So that's what I ordered. Yes, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. The contribution that your people gave. But I fucking love that look. So that with the AK Interactive mud weathering, I think it's going to be pretty fantastic. I mentioned the Warhound a few minutes ago. So I don't know where that's going to slide in. I'm probably going to go ahead and jump into the Thursday night Mega Battle. I've got 20 hoplites, which are built. They just need painted. So if I get time, my goal is to paint them, to run them as true Titan Guard in the Mega Battle.
Pretty
so
good painting your Warhound?
Samson.
Samson, that's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, he did my Ordo Reductor, or I'm sorry, my Ordinatus models, both of them this past or 2 years ago. And if you've seen his work, you know he does amazing work. He loves Titans. He loves big models. So I'm pretty looking forward to this. We're doing Legio Graphonicus for my 30-game force.
Nice.
Yep.
What color scheme is Graphonicus again? Is that
that's
yellow
the blue?
flame?
No,
Blue
that's
with red.
Yeah, it's the blues with the golds and the silvers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I kind of keyed on them is I was reading back on their fluff, and they were scattered by Horus basically throughout everywhere to diminish their strength. So it would make sense if like one or two Titans showed up in a battlefield, since they were scattered so far away from their Legio. So that was kind of the thought behind it. They could appear on that trench warfare themed battlefield and not feel too out of place.
That sounds cool. I picked up the new Titan. Is it the Warbringer?
Warmonger.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Warbringer or whatever.
Yeah, I just grabbed one. So I'm trying to figure out what Legio to paint, and I don't know what I want to do yet. I want to do Loyalist.
Titan.
Casual Titan. I got it sent from the UK. I got it sent from the UK, so I saved $350.
Nice.
Fuck you, Forge World America.
Hey,
price.
But they have overnight shipping or something.
Yeah, and you get to pay sales tax.
Yeah,
Totally awesome.
8 point.
So if anyone's got any recommendations for good Loyalist legions, let me know.
Ultramarines.
That's not a Loyalist Legio, but okay, moving on.
I thought he said Legion. I heard Legion.
You always hear Legion, George.
I do.
Yeah, I think it was just
Jamie, just go Furion, baby.
ooh.
Could do. There's one that's like green with a red helmet, like red heads, but I can't find out whether they were Loyalist or not. I don't know.
Cool. I think pretty much all of them went Trader, though.
All right.
I love you.
This sounds like Pretty's up to some good stuff.
Yep. Like I said, I will. I know Jake kind of threw out the accountability buddy coming to fire. I'm all in on that. That has really helped me keep focus. Everyone's got lives. There's wives and kids and jobs, careers, whatever. 101 different things going on in your life, and this is the first year that I felt, hey, there's a group that I can talk to, and I set some realistic goals for myself. And, for the most part, I'm getting there. Yeah, I haven't made all of them, but I'm better than I have been in the past, which is an improvement. So I really feel like, come Adepticon, I'm going to be 100% ready. My goal is to be, a couple of weeks prior, I'm ready to go. The stuff's gone, it's done.
Come Thursday night of Adepticon, or Thursday, maybe Wednesday when everybody gets there, we're going to, everything that got painted through the Adepticon Accountability Buddies, we're going to put out on a table and take a picture with all of us.
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
That
for
was
sure, man. For sure.
Awesome.
Pretty pumped about the process. I love it. And looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Adepticon.
Yeah.
Although, I'm also, did anybody see, I'm going to throw this out there, and maybe this is not the forum, but I'm going to say it anyway. Did anyone see that LVO lost their 30K showrunner, so to speak?
I did see that when you guys showed it to me earlier.
Yeah.
I saw it in the Adepticon group, and I didn't know anything about it, so I was kind of confused on what was going on.
Yeah, so apparently they are looking for someone immediately to step in and run 30K at LVO, because whoever was running it had to back out for whatever reason. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of an interesting change of events.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned it because, Adepticon's, that's been my gig. This is going to be year number 6 for me coming up. But, that's been my out-of-town event, so to speak, that I fly for every year or drive for. And LVO, though, has been an up-and-comer. It keeps getting better with regards to 30K every year. And I know there's been a lot of talk of LVO 2020 for a lot of the Wolf Slayer. So Tim and Michael and Freddie and the Canadians, myself, going in 2022 Vegas for LVO. But it was an interesting shade of events because it's a really, while the 30K event has been growing and getting better, I'm really curious what's going to happen to it now that they're a month out and they're searching for someone to run the event.
Very good question.
Yeah, I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I think we need to go and do it.
Things that make you really love Mark and Nathaniel and Finn.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, those guys are so those guys are so solid. I can look back 6 years ago when I went to Adepticon for the first time, and they were in a little bitty ballroom. It was at a different hotel. It was about 25 miles away from where it's at now. And I remember Jay and I went, TFLJ and I went, and didn't know anything about it. We just like, hey, we're getting into Heresy. It's brand new. Let's go check this Adepticon thing out. And we did, and just Mark and Nate and Matthew, all those dudes, just so fantastic. From that first year, all the stuff that they had put out there, and then going forward every year, they keep growing, and the events are just amazing. It's tough to kind of match up to that. It's tough for me to say, well, I'm going to not go to Adepticon and go to a different event this year because I know what I'm getting when I go to Adepticon.
Yeah, that's always a tough deal.
Yeah. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Something that came up today. So timely news, if you will.
Yeah. So if you know anyone that's good at planning events, or get in touch with the folks at LVO. Find a new organizer. All right, I'll try to wrap mine up pretty quick. I can get pretty long-winded. So since our last episode, I finished my Land Raider, finished my Vulture, finished my Siegebreaker, and I finished a one-off Volkite.
Looks awesome, by the way.
Which one?
The Siegebreaker.
Yeah, that was fun. Based off a Mark III Tech Marine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Finished a one-off Volkite Caliber for an Instagram contest, which is going to be kind of cool. And then lately, I have been working on a 5-man Sons of Horus autocannon squad and a drop pod that's going to be a drop pod for my box dread for the Sons of Horus, which was already built. I found out today it's missing a few pieces, but it's not a big deal. But I've been trying to mask off all of the parts that I'm going to leave black, and it's a pain in the ass to mask that stuff off when the drop pod's already built. I tell you. One other thing that I need to go into real quick, because Devin had a hand in this, unbeknownst to me at the time. My friend Brett up in Calgary goes by Borks a lot on Instagram. Go check him out.
Oh, yeah, I follow that guy.
Yeah. Well, he asked for my address a couple of weeks ago. Said he was going to send me a Christmas card. I'm thinking, just like a picture of him and his cats on a postcard, say, "Oh, Merry Christmas." And I'd be like, "Cool. Merry Christmas." Brett and his cats. Awesome. I'll put this on my refrigerator. And, he told me earlier this week or last week that he put it in the mail, and, he sounded like he was really stressing out because he wanted to know when it was going to get here. And I guess the Canadian Postal Service is on a strike right now. And then he sends me a photo yesterday saying that, it had been bouncing around a bunch of postal distribution centers in Des Moines. And I remember thinking, it's like, why does he have a tracking number for a letter? That seems kind of weird. You only do that with packages. And I didn't really think anything about it. And then my wife texted me this afternoon. She says, "You got a package from Canada." I'm like, "A package or a letter?" She says, "It's a package." I'm like, "Oh, that son of a bitch." So I messaged him. I was like, "What did you do?" He sent me this whole box. And so go through it, of course. A whole box of Kinder eggs for my kids, which this is like the third time someone has sent them Kinder eggs.
For the love of God, make sure they don't choke.
Oh, they could not have been more excited. A couple of Canadian Mars bars. I don't know. I've never had one. This will be exciting. Well, what else we got here? Some cherry blossoms. You always got to love the care package from a different country with stuff you've never had. Canadian Smarties, which most of us here in the States are accustomed to Smarties being a small, sort of powdery, fruity flavored candy. These are like giant-sized M&Ms.
So it's kind of like a sixlet.
That's how we do it in England as well, just so you know.
You guys
That's how we roll Smarties in England.
have a giant caramel. And then the one candy that's not in here is coffee crisps. You sent me like a whole package of them, and I didn't care what else was in the box as soon as I saw there were coffee crisps because I just immediately dove into those because they're so good. Well, and then not done yet. I don't know what Devin's involvement was in this, but the fucker sent me a drop pod too.
You said you needed more.
I do. And this one's unassembled, so I can build it and paint it. So thanks, Brett. You rock, dude. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on lately. I've got a few other things waiting in the wings. This year's my main project this year is like a 2,000 point Sons of Horus orbital assault list. So I'm working on the stuff for that. I need to get a few more things, and I probably won't have that painted in time for Adepticon, but work on it throughout the course of the year. So possibly in time for the next telethon shenanigans. And before you ask, Jake, yes, I am planning to go.
Excellent.
You wouldn't ask me. You just asked me. Shit.
Well, I hope you're going pretty because, like, you're my bed buddy.
Well, George was just like, if you ask Jake, I was just like, well, what the fuck am I? Like, no, just all right.
I mean, yeah, and you're my Titanicus partner, so it's kind of very important that you go.
Yeah,
he's asked me 3 times over the past month if I'm going. I haven't. I'm planning on doing it probably next week, but I'm not going to be signing up for any events unless there's just some random one-off class or something that looks like fun. But I'm not going to be getting there till my plan right now. Drive out Thursday after work, so get in Thursday night, stay Friday. So be there Thursday night, stay all day Friday, and then probably head back home on Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
Enough time to hang out and just do open gaming with people.
You'll get some fucking awesome open gaming like Thursday night, Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday during the day probably not so much because people are kind of
but still hang out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Do you need a ticket for that type of thing, or can you just kind of turn up an open game?
Yeah, you can roll up an open game.
Yeah.
But even the events, like if you showed up for an event, I mean, the tickets are only like $20 to play. So it's not, and normally you can sign up the day of,
so
if there's room.
So here with the events, you've got to have an Adepticon badge,
which you have to open game anyway.
Well, yeah, I guess so, sort of. I don't know if anyone's actually checking that, but I know with the events, yeah, you probably need to have one if you're gonna get an event. But if you're just gonna show up and drag your models up to the floor and hang out in the Heresy Hall and get some open gaming again late at night, I don't think anyone's gonna say shit, honestly.
I've never seen anyone ask about it.
No, me either.
How much is a ticket? Just because I'd want to pay my way if I was.
It's like $35 for this, like the cheapest regular badge.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
So I could theoretically last minute get a ticket, fly out, just play some pickup games, and
yes.
There
we went. So last year. So the good thing is, Heresy went to its own hall last year, and it's continuing in that this year.
And it's a super cool hall.
Yeah, so we were able to literally stay all night. Like if you wanted to hang out, and some people did like hang out till like 5 a.m.
Yeah, Jamie, I finished a game. I was the last person to leave Adepticon at 5:15 in the morning.
Jesus.
Jesus. So,
yeah.
But
and the event at 10. It was awesome.
You've got that option. You know, everybody's drinking. Like, you know, I hang out till like 1, 2 a.m. and then I'm old, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to bed. But everyone's hanging out in the hall. There's open gaming going on, and it's all Heresy dudes, which is awesome. People bringing booze up and just chilling. Mm-hmm. And they pretty much said, don't be a fuck, and you're all right. And so that's what we did. Everyone kind of minded their manners, and there was no issues. And the hotel didn't say anything about it. So, yeah, you could just show up, game in the middle of the night, meet some cool dudes, drink some free booze, because everybody's handing out booze from their booze carts. And yeah, it's just, I cannot say enough. That's when people start talking about like, oh, go to Nova, go to LVO. I'm just like, yeah, but Adepticon is so badass.
It is.
It's just, it's hard for me to not go to Adepticon.
That's always been my favorite part about Adepticon is just doing the off-hours stuff with people, just hanging out and playing games and stuff. Just not even the events as much.
Duncan's like pouring ginger ale and booze, like whiskey down your throat.
Hang on. So I kept this.
Ooh, there's a late one.
I actually kept this from this past year.
Nice.
Yeah, because I wanted to order some locally. So I was like, I'm gonna not drink one, and I brought it home with me. And so,
Pretty. I think they sell them. I've seen them at Cracker Barrel.
The nearest Cracker Barrel is like an hour and a half from here.
Holy shit! How is that possible?
Well,
I thought there was one 20 minutes in every direction.
I've never been more than 15 miles away from a Cracker Barrel. Pretty like I don't.
It's in South Texas. It's a little bit different, Jake. Well, you've been here. Both of you guys have been here. Y'all know. Don't give me shit.
Okay, well, we've had a great hobby update. Now, let's take a few minutes. Let's just talk about some of the new stuff that's coming up. We've got the two Blood Angels Praetors in both Power Armor, Artificer Armor, and Tartaros Terminator Armor, as well as the Blood Angels Contemptor Dreadnought and the Blood Angels Legion specific Leviathan, which is kind of a departure. And then the other two big releases for Heresy, the Praevian model that most people have had to make their own, perfectly fine, and the Vigilator, which has got me salivating.
Yeah, I've got them on the way.
Well, my boss actually gave me a $30 Forge World voucher for Christmas, so that's going to be going towards a Vigilator.
Nice.
Yeah,
they're good models. I think being a Space Wolves player, they got two Praetors. We got one shitty one that they then took off sale. That's all I've got to say.
We're drunk and bitter, damn it.
Yeah.
Hey, most legions don't have a Praetor model.
Don't try to be reasonable, George.
Yeah, we're not here for reasonable. We want to be irrationally angry.
Yeah, I want to be an angry, salty man.
And
still waiting for his Ultramarine Contemptor.
Yeah, I just normally on board, except I don't have an Ultramarines branded Contemptor that I didn't have to make myself.
Yeah, they do. It's just called the Contemptor. You just go buy it. It's just plain and boring and
Just
very
like
fitting.
it screams theoretical.
It's not the same, goddammit. It's not the same. So that's the new stuff. Is there any other new stuff that I'm missing here, guys?
Well, there is that big Titan, but I don't know whether you talked about that before.
Yeah. The Warbringer Nemesis, or the Nemesis Warbringer, whatever.
If I got one of those guys, I would have to buy me like a Warlord head or something. The face of it just does not jive with me.
The big thing that I've heard is just the giant cannon on the back.
It's not my favorite, like just the concept of it in general, but I can get behind the big gun. Like I'm okay. I'm fundamentally okay with it. It's just something about the face makes it look like a War Machine model or something. I don't know.
I mean, I don't have anything against it. I actually kind of like the giant revolver cannon on the back.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think the cannon on the back is actually a Warlord arm, if I got it right.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it's a Warlord arm that can sit on the back, so you can technically put any Warlord arm on the top of it.
Huh.
I'm not super into Titans, so it doesn't really bother me one way or the other. But I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I've got two actually. I've only built one of the square Warhounds. The old, are they Lucius?
Oh yeah, Lucius.
Yeah, Lucius. Yeah.
I really dig them. I think they're really cool. And I built it years and years ago for when we did a gaming group I was part of. We did a Siege of Terror kind of campaign, and anyway, it was pretty cool. And I've always been like, you know what, I really want to build a big Titan and blah blah blah. But I've never been a fan of the Reaver. I've just been like, it feels like they made a small model and then just scaled it up. It's so old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Warlord came out. The Warlord's like, amazing. And my wife was even like, "Why you could buy one, and we can have it with the claw and it can hold the car keys." And I was like,
I like it.
I was like, this is exactly why.
That's a keeper right there, Jamie. That's what we call a keeper.
Absolutely. So I was like, yes. But I think the size of that intimidated me. And then when that one came out, I just was like, you know what, I really dig it. It's kind of a different. It's not quite Warlord. It's not quite. It's bigger than a Reaver. I like the fact it's just all guns. It's just like guns.
Fucking send it.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, that could be just a fun. I don't know if I'll ever get to play it. We've got a hobby campaign coming up soon and a heresy campaign, so I hope I will. But
I mean, you bring it to Adepticon, I'll play it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
I'll just bring it as my +1 as my.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
This is my child. Here's his passport.
Each one of those little mommy and me's, and just stick it.
Yeah. Just put it in a little baby Bjorn. Carry it around with you.
Yeah, this is my carry-on, my personal item.
But the fact that they're doing new Titans that big, I think must say something quite cool about how many people are buying Titans.
That surprised me, honestly. I was not like when it came out. I was like, I really wasn't expecting like a giant ass model like that to come out right now. Like that.
No, me either.
No, I wasn't. I think it caught everyone by surprise, to be honest.
Well, and actually, now that you mention it, there was it's like the Games Workshop or the Forge World Christmas Party Twitch stream earlier today, and I guess there was some talk about Book 8 is actually at the printers right now.
Ooh.
I can't remember exactly what all the news was. I mean, there wasn't a lot of news, but there was just like some updates that Book 8 it's coming, and it's coming sooner than.
From what I saw, it was it said the printers. Book 9 has started. Dark Angels have been pushed into 9.
Maybe they'll get pushed into 10. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Along with the Ultramarines Contempt of Dreadnought.
Probably.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I thought that was the case, and it sounds like it's very, it's very much about Blood Angels and Demons now. So it feels like Book 8 has been changed and changed and changed and changed. So it's going to be interesting to see what they did. And they also confirmed that artwork that came out the other day of the angel fighting the demon and stuff was actually from Book 8, which I thought was super interesting because I don't think any book up until now has had that kind of artwork. It's always been.
I wonder if that's the cover photo.
Panels. Oh man, that'd be a shame because it's a nice piece of art, but it's a real like 40K piece of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see it as heresy.
No, and I want tourists in the background of my photo.
Exactly.
I want that kind of stuff.
I'm super stoked about. I think it's a good idea what they did, and this is gonna. I mean, yes, I have a very subjective view on Dark Angels anyway, but I think it's a good thing, as unbiased as I possibly can be about the subject, that it now is pretty much solely Blood Angels and Demons, because it really, like, Cygnus Prime is a big fucking deal, and Cygnus is a very important part of the heresy that doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't quite get the same kind of attention that things like Beta Garment or Istvan or the Ruined Storm, that kind of stuff get. I mean, it's basically an entire battle of the Blood Angels figuring out whether or not they're going to turn to Khorne or not, and Sanguinius essentially saving the day, saving his legion. That's the first time, other than Flight of the Eisenstein, where at large you really have the true enemy versus the Imperium. And I think that having an entire book, to me, that's as important as Prospero. Like, it deserves to have its own book and to give it that kind of focus, focus down to, well, it's not just all the, the legions named angels. It's, here's the Blood Angels. They deserve this. Here's the Demons. This is a completely different army than anything you've seen before. It's important. Let's tell the story of Cygnus Prime.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with you. And I think, like, one of the, I can't remember what event it was, they talked about how there was going to be some Space Wolf legions in it. I don't know if that's still the case. And I remember, even though I'm a Space Wolf player, and I do feel like we got totally dipped by Book 7 in terms of models and units that just haven't appeared. I was like, what, isn't that going to be weird that there's just one Space Wolf unit in the book or something, So it'd be interesting to see if they do all of that as well.
Yeah.
So they were going to do a bit of the Space Wolves Alpha Legion story, and I kind of feel a little bit that story is quite a big story as well.
It is, absolutely.
I don't know if it warrants a book, but
It definitely warrants a novella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I was
definitely,
kind of hoping they would keep the white scars in, like was rumored before, just because I mean it's a really cool Legion.
Are they not? Have they said specifically they're taking them out?
I don't know.
haven't heard that.
I'm just hoping that they do stay in, just because
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
scars are kind of cool, and I think they're kind of underserved right now. I mean, they don't even, the Blood Angels at least have that beautiful decal sheet, where the white scars don't have that, and they've got the Legion specific upgrades and stuff. But
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
oh, they don't. They got rid of all the white scars stuff.
Yeah, they got rid of everything, man.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So that's the new stuff. I'd like to take just a few minutes and just talk about how good 2018 was. Like for us personally in the Heresy. I mean, aside from Heresy, 2018 has been just an incredible year for myself and for my family. But just our home life and work and everything has just been spectacular. And it's my best year of Heresy so far. I mean, just I got to play more games than any other year, which doesn't say a lot, but got to play a lot of games, which was fun. Got to meet, hang out with a lot of people that when I first got into Heresy and first got into started listening to Heresy podcasts, like I didn't think that I remember listening to the first episode of Covenant of Fire, and it's just like, man, this Jake dude seems cool, and listening to episodes and getting finally getting to chat with him all the time. It's like Jake's like one of my best friends right now, and then starting to watch TFL, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm sleeping in Pretty's guest bedroom.
Oh, I wasn't sure where that was going. So.
Things move fast in the Pretty House.
Yeah, things move fast in Texas.
And with the podcast itself, getting to bring Devin on, to co-host with me is just awesome. And the stuff that he and I have done, not even just with the show, but just like with gaming and with our local community. And I remember, when I first got on Instagram, started following Heresy stuff, I find this guy called The Route, making some cool Space Wolf stuff. Next thing I know, I win some contest. He's painting me a Vindicator, and he's like, comes to me with this crazy ass idea. Hey, I'm moving to the United States. What do you say we get together and play a game? Next thing I know, I'm pulling up to the curb at the Des Moines International Airport, and there's Jamie fucking Jackson standing there getting into my car.
So let me just jump in real quick. You guys that are listening, if you're new to Heresy, one of the things you'll find out pretty quick, if you put yourself out there in the Heresy, you will have dudes looking for dudes that will travel. It's kind of like Tinder, but you're not swiping either way. They're going to show up, and you're going to have some Heresy.
You're swiping your card to buy your plane ticket.
Well, that obviously, yeah. But yeah, you can have dudes. One of the things that as I got farther into Heresy, I traveled, and then TFL, we formed TFL, and people started traveling here to Texas, and I met these really cool dudes. Shaw the Violence from CZ Initiative initially, the Drop Pod more recently. Alec Peters from Axonar, the Star Trek thing. Just all these, Josh Korich from North Texas, Barth from Alamo Draft House. I could go on and on and on and on. But my point being, we met all these guys, all these super cool dudes through Heresy. And they're like, you're in Texas and you're doing an event, I'm there. Freddie the Swede, I'm going to get on a plane and fly from Sweden. Michael John, I'm going to get on a plane and fly from Australia to Victoria, Texas, and hang out and play some Heresy and drink. And that's what we did. That's what Heresy's all about in my mind. That's what I love so much about it, because I haven't met Jamie in person, just as an example, yet. But I have no doubt there'll be a point in time when I do.
But you're Eskimo brothers.
We are, obviously. But we'll share a drink. We'll have good times. We'll have some good games. And that's just what Heresy is. You meet these people online. You play with them. You will run into them in some form or fashion, either you traveling or they traveling. And you create these bonds. Jake and George are some really fucking badass dudes and great friends, best friends that I've met in my life for the last couple of years. The TFL guys, same thing. You know, it's just part of what Heresy is, and it's part of what I get out of it. And I travel, and you know, Adepticon is my thing. You know, LVL 2020 is going to, you know, that's going to be kind of the add-on thing for 2020, obviously. But you know, I'm looking at going to Sweden to hang out with Freddie and Jody and all those dudes in the Swedish scene, because I've made awesome friends with them. They've come here. I'm going to go there. That's just, it's what Heresy's about. And I really encourage everybody that's listening that if you're the type of person that's like, you know, I've got my local scene and that's what it's going to be, don't think that's what it's going to be, because it's so much more than that.
We really are such a small, like, I don't want to say small. I'll say this. The Heresy community is a very tight-knit community.
Yes.
And people, I mean, like I said, going to things like Adepticon, going to, you know, I mean, I drove to Indiana. I'd never met, I mean, so far, my mother would be very upset with me if she were still around, because of Heresy, I have slept in more people's houses that I've never met before, except on the internet, in my life. And which I think most, you know, most parents might frown on, but that's the thing about it. Like, you meet people and you meet them at events and you meet them and hanging out, but you've already talked to them, you already know them. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just a completely different thing. And that's what, to me, that's what's so cool about it.
Here to that. I have a similar story, and I agree with you, Chris. Like, I know when we'll meet in person, we're going to have fun, and we've already got a bond, and we've already got a connection, which is great. And I think it is cool. And I have a story when I first started playing Heresy about 2 years before the first book came out. And the reason why I did it was I started to get back into painting models, and the local scene, there was a guy who was a YouTuber who was kind of big at the time, and he started this worldwide campaign, and King Fluff was part of it, and he was called Templars Crusade, and there was like 60 people around the world playing it, and he got me into it, and I paid up 15,000 points of Iron Hands, and he invited all these people to come to where we lived in Leamington for the 2 days of the Siege of Terror, and he built like a 38-foot long board, and he had all these other boards, and I think about 35 of us turned up. And 2 guys came from Sweden, Frederick and Kay. And I ended up taking them for fish and chips because they wanted to have fish and chips in England. And that was 9 years ago. And these guys, those two, they invited me to Sweden. So I went. And ever since that year, I've been to Sweden once and they come to England once.
Nice.
This year I flew back to England and we all met in England. And I've met the rest of their group, and they're some of the best friends I've got on the planet now. You know, they're like my brothers, and we fell in love with each other because of Heresy. And every single year we see each other twice, and we have 4 days of just crazy Heresy. And they're coming to the States hopefully soon. And that was, again, like Jake said, it was all because we love this crazy hobby, and it's all the Heresy crew is it's a different, definitely seems to be a different type of person.
Yeah. 100%, man. There's been very little. I love to travel, but you know, my wife and I, this is one of the things she's always been open for. Is I've told her, it's like, I'm traveling for Heresy, I'm traveling for the hobby. She says very little about it because that's like the one thing that's like my thing, right? You know, I don't ask for a whole lot. I, you know, make sure she's taken care of. But if I say this is the Heresy related, she doesn't say a whole lot because it's my thing. And that's exactly right. You know, the people that I've met and the trips that I've taken, the trips that I want to take in the future, it's so amazing because it's bonds that you made. You know, bonds I made with Freddie the Swede and you know, Greg Dan and in England, you know, meeting him online and at events, and Jason Mullins from Independent Characters originally, and now from Sons of Heresy, playing him at Adepticon, and then you know, talking to him outside of that. it's just it's you meet these people and you create these bonds, but it's super. I don't know. It's the biggest part of it for me because I love the hobby. I love the painting. I love the playing the game. But meeting up with these dudes, once or twice a year is the biggest part of it for me. Honestly, I could say like, I'm gonna meet up with the guys at Adepticon. I'm gonna meet up with, Jake's coming to Texas. My wife is like, who's coming to Texas? I was like, well, Jake's coming. George is coming. Whatever. Freddie's coming. Tim and Michael are coming. She's kind of put up with all these people coming into the house and staying for days at a time prior to Adepticon. But, it's part of what I love, and it's part of what I love about the community. And I know if I call, Freddie or George or Jake or Jamie even, and say, hey, I'm coming out to your neck of the woods. And we're like, you got a place? Let's play some Heresy. Let's hang out. It's what I love about the community. Just freaking awesome.
You've been kind of quiet there, buddy. What do you got to say?
I was going to say, just from my experience, like at Adepticon and stuff, the Heresy crew has been hands down the most approachable group of guys I've ever met with. Like it was awesome. Just doing going to the open gaming hall, seeing people playing Heresy and just sitting there and talking Heresy with them. I mean, you're all there. You all love the exact same thing, and you're super passionate about it. You click instantly, even if you don't know them.
Or you despise their legion. So I want to pose this question to all of you guys. If you had to pick one, maybe two top moments relating to Heresy for the year, well, before that, I just want to say, I remember at the start of the year, several of us here, Jake and Pretty were on with me. We were talking about when Heresy was declared dead by some cockwomble on the internet, and just the backlash that resulted from that. And it might have been kind of a slower year for Heresy, but there's been some awesome model releases. There hasn't been a black book this year, but I think Heresy has it's gotten it's steamrolled. And it's snowballed, and it's just, the number of events and just the community has just gone just bonkers, and a good way. And I really think kind of the goal was to make 2018 the year of Heresy, and I think probably been one of the biggest years for Heresy, at least the Heresy community, since the game.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think there was, when you look back to the beginning of the year, there was a lot of doubt. There's a lot of people saying Heresy's dead. There's not a lot of updates. We went through portions of the year when it was kind of sparse. But honestly, when you look at a game, you look at the fan base, and you look at what's going on with those folks. And, and I'm just going to take us as a cross-section of that. People are still working on their armies. People are still talking about their armies. People are still saying, what's upcoming? What's going to be a book 8? What's going to be a book 9? What am I working on now? That was still a big part of the Heresy community. You had the events. You had Adepticon. You had LVO. You had Nova. You had a multitude of independent local events that supported Heresy. You had Adeptus Titanicus come out, which is Heresy related, which is huge. If folks don't give credit for that, I really suggest you look at Adeptus Titanicus, because that is one of the biggest releases of the year. There's a lot of folks playing it. It's a lot of buzz about it, and it's focused on the Heresy. So, there's a lot going on with it. I think you just need to step back and look at it, and you'll see. In 2019, I fully believe we're going to see Book 8. We're going to see the tease of Book 9, what's going to be in it. And we're going to see a lot more Heresy movement than we've seen in the past, 12 months.
Yeah, I think, if I jumped in and said, what were my Heresy highlights of the year?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, what was your top Heresy moment of 2018?
So for me, I had a couple. I think, I didn't pay any attention to that Heresy was dead shit, because if I looked around me, it wasn't, right? I moved to America on the 30th of December last year, and I left all my friends and family. And I think when I did the podcast at the beginning of the year with you guys, I think I said to you, like, my year is about, can I find my people where I live?
Yeah,
You tried.
And I did, in an amazing way. And Seattle is a hotbed of nerds. It is a hotbed of nerds with disposable income, because they all work at Amazon or Google, and they're so welcoming. And I got really welcomed into multiple communities. I think I've got a big shout out to the aggressively friendly Seattle 40 Heresy group and 40K group. I've only played Heresy with them, but they meet Thursdays at Meeples. I got to play a bunch of guys. Had a lot of fun, and one of the things I noticed that was different there than I started to see back home a little bit, maybe more on the kind of event scene, but no one really gave a shit what list you brought, right? There wasn't. I felt like at the end of last year and a bit this year, and it's perhaps why I turned off a little bit of. I didn't kind of dive too much into the community online for a while, because I just felt like it was a lot of just people giving each other shit for lists, and I'm like, I like to play with toys. I'm a grown man who likes to play with toys, and if a toy looks cool, I want to play with it. I don't give a shit what it does. I want to play with it, and I want to play with it in this story, in this setting. And those guys definitely I think they're in the same vein. Because I turned up with a Custodes army and smashed someone, right? But it was super fun, and he had fun. And I know he did, because we've become good friends, and we've played multiple times, and we played lots of different armies. So one big highlight for me was finding those guys and just finding the scene and the refreshing scene. I think over here that it was just about people in the same boat. They're like, you know what, I've got this cool idea about this thing, and I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to play. And I turned up. I played one of the guys who had like World Eaters army with, I don't even know what they're called. Is it the Inducti squads or something? And they're like, he had the most you could put, however many that is. Felt like 50 in each unit. And
sounds familiar.
And yes. He handed me one of my only 3 defeats to my Custodes, and it was a hell of a game. It was super fun. I nearly got Angron with Veldor, and it was super fun. So that for me was a big highlight. Another big highlight was doing what we just talked about, and getting on a plane and flying to meet some dude I only met on the internet who lived in the middle of America, and hoped that I wasn't going to get murdered and left in a ditch, and I didn't. Thank you, George. That was a huge highlight.
He's just lulling you in a false sense of security. Wait till the next time you show up.
Yeah,
it's like straight John Wayne Gacy shit going on then.
Yeah.
Hey, John Wayne Gacy actually owned a KFC in Waterloo, Iowa for a while.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, there's about 80 apparently serial killers on the loose in the Seattle PNW area, so I don't know. But when George drove me out to his family land in the middle of nowhere, he was like, okay.
He's like, we're going to go shoot guns.
Yeah.
On my
Let
land.
me go show you the back 40.
Yeah. We're just going to make a fire, and then you stand over there. And
yeah.
And I was like, am I going to get eaten? No.
And it Texas, you don't have to worry about that.
To be fair, I did hand him a loaded rifle first to allow him the opportunity to defend himself.
You did. And you were quite impressed with my ability with a rifle for an Englishman.
It was. He's for an Englishman. He's pretty good shot.
We won't be overthrown again. I'll tell you that much.
My experience has been that outside of military folks, overseas folks have a tough time. I know Tim was kind of scared to touch some of the guns. I
actually had fired a lot of guns, and I've fired silly guns in Vegas as well. So I've kind of been, as much as I gave George shit about his guns, I've fired guns in England. So I was kind of knew what I was doing. I knew which end to point away from me.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Well, that is, but you've got to understand. Well, and if you go to Vegas and gone to the full auto and fired all that shit, you're fine.
Yeah, I think that was fun. But and I think out shooting George with hip hop hand. I don't think George didn't even hit the box.
George,
I put the full clip into the box. George
did
you hit the mountain?
let me ask you though, Jamie, because Tim and Michael both asked, can we fire 2 45s at the same time, hip hop hand, when they were here? And we told them yes. So we've got them on camera, dual wielding hip hop hands, 45s out at the range or out at the land, so to speak.
George, we didn't do that. We need to do that next time.
We will. And okay, for the record,
you got to come to Texas for that, friend.
For the record, it was a 9mm. I do have a 45. I just didn't bring it with, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even shoot it. And then I let you walk around with it holstered on your hip.
You did. But you definitely shot it because you were like, you do it like this, and you missed the box. And then I was like, okay, George, I got it.
Jamie strutting around Des Moines like I'm a cowboy, baby.
Yeah. Wait, did George give you a 50 caliber rifle to shoot? Let's just.
Unfortunately, no. But I did give him an M1 Garand,
which was awesome. That was super fun.
That is awesome. Yes.
I think there's actually a video of that on my Instagram.
I think there is. Yes.
I hanged him an M1 Garand and said, "Let me play you the song of my people." Blam, 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 blam.
I'm just asking. When we had Tim and Michael out here before Adepticon this year, and so we did a range day. One of our friends, TFL Cody, they have a deer lease, which is out in the middle of nowhere. So if you're unfamiliar with deer leases, that's land that you lease to go and kill things on.
Yep.
So just a quick aside, what that is. This was about 15 miles from the nearest habitation, as far as town or city goes. It was several miles from the nearest house. So we got out there. We took everything out there from we had
which is super important in Texas, by the way, because you could be 30 miles from the nearest domicile and you're worried about shooting it because that sumbitch is flat as a fucking pancake.
Yes. So we took out, we had a P90. So if you're familiar with Call of Duty, P90, a submachine gun. We had multitude of pistols from 9mm to 380 to 45 caliber pistols. We had AR-15s out the wazoo. We had AK variant rifles out the wazoo. We had sniper type rifles, so 308 and above, specifically built for long range shooting. I'm not going to tell you why in Texas we have those, but I'm just going to say we have them. So if you want to shoot, if you want to shoot things a mile plus away, the stuff that we have multiple rifles. That we had a Barrett 50 caliber anti-material rifle, and I say that because the Geneva Convention says you can't shoot people with a 50 caliber Barrett.
Your current president doesn't give a fuck about the Geneva Convention, though, does he?
I'm just going to say we had people out there with us that fought in current theaters of war, and they were like, yeah, we use those to shoot people.
Yeah, the top 5 snipers, long range shooting in the world, I think. Wait, the newest one may not be with a 50, but every other one was.
Yeah, every other one. The newest one I thought was a 308 variant.
It may have been a 338. I can't remember. I'd have to go look.
So we had a 50 caliber sniper rifle. This was
made in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, by the way.
Yeah, we had a sniper rifle and scope that cost more than my work car. So the vehicle I drive back and forth to work every day, this rifle and scope was worth more than that. But yeah, so that's what you run into in Texas. That's kind of what you do.
When can I visit?
Dude, Jamie, seriously, come on down. We will set it up. we'll do you exactly what Till Michael did. George, you got to come back.
Hey Jamie,
Dude, you
gotta
better
come back.
be coming
how
back.
do you feel? How do you feel about cars that make a lot of noise and go really fast?
Ooh.
I have a 1967 Ford Mustang, so
What?
Number one. Jamie's my fucking hero.
Wait. Stop. Full stop. You have a 67 Mustang?
I do.
Coupe or
Holy
fastback?
shit.
Fastback.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my gosh. I love it.
My fucking man right here.
Yeah. I love
It's
you.
got a 427 side oiler in it.
Holy shit.
And it was Carol Shelby's neighbor's car, and Shelby helped him build it, and he gave him a bunch of stuff. He donated a bunch of stuff. It's not a great picture, but
Hang on. Let me get my. Okay.
Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Hang on. Instagram just decided to screw me. So yes, Shelby.
I'll try and find the picture for you.
And that's my wife cleaning it.
Ooh.
Good Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Shelby gave him all built it with him. So all the parts are from the Shelby race team, and they did it as a street look for the GTs. So
Okay.
that's to Jake.
So
that answer is acceptable.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna say, Jamie, you're welcome anytime in Texas to come. So in the garage back home, we've got a 62 Vet Roadster and a 66 Nova Super Sport.
Pretty's one of those dirty Chevrolet people.
Yeah, I'm a dirty Chevrolet guy, but I appreciate the Ford all day long. But the reason I mention it is we have what's called the Texas Mile.
Right.
So twice a year in March and October, people bring their vehicles of varying degrees. So everything from Lamborghini Huracan to Ford Mustang GT350s. They bring them down here and they see how fast can they drive in a 1 mile
On an
spread.
airport landing strip.
Yeah, they closed down the airport, the local airport, for this.
That sounds amazing because I love that car. It's got something like 440 brake through the rear wheels. It's got the wide wheel, but it goes around corners like dog shit. So it sounds like I need to try and plan a trip to Texas because I'm shipping it back. It's in England at the moment. I bought it in America. I shipped it to England, and now I'm shipping it back.
So you need to bring it to Texas. That's what I'm saying.
Texas. How far is Texas from Seattle? It's gonna take a while.
A long fucking way.
Jamie, just ship it to Tennessee because that'll be shorter, and then I'll drive it to Texas.
I mean,
And then you just fly on in. We'll meet you there.
No,
That'll be
here's
great.
ship it to Tennessee. You meet Jake in Tennessee. You and Jake drive up to Des Moines to pick me up. I'll ride in the back seat. Then we drive down to Texas together.
And we play Heresy.
Yes.
Obviously.
Devin can ride in the trunk.
That sounds like one of the best ideas ever. All right,
We're leaving Devin out. Devin can ride with us.
Seriously, though, Jamie, you and I are now. I love you more than anything because now we're car guys together, and yeah. So I don't know what else to say about that. We're gonna talk offline. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna have to go back and get a screen cap of Pretty's face when he heard Carol Shelby.
I'm just like.
I'm gonna have to change my underwear now.
I was just like, can I suck Jamie's cock? Is that allowable right now?
I will not judge. I mean, if that's
nobody
part of the concern.
Holy shit, nobody would.
Do you play Ultramarines?
If you do it, it has to be a roadie. Like it totally has to be roadie.
Yeah. Oh, of course. No, it's just I'm super hard about that because growing up, I know Jake and George already know this because they visited me. But growing up, my dad restored muscle cars. That was his thing. So all through my formative years, he had a variety of muscle cars at the house that he restored. And he would drive them for a while. He'd sell them and then buy a new one to restore. That was his, what he did. And so, from Camaros to El Caminos to GTOs, we had the whole gamut come through my house through the 80s and early 90s. So when you start talking about a Shelby inspired. Jesus Christ, I don't even know. I'm just, good Lord. When you start talking about what you've got, I'm just like, holy shit, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, I'm a huge car guy. Like to maybe round it off topic. I was going to be a car designer. That's what I went to study at university.
Mm-hmm.
All my friends, like everyone's got pretty cool cars, and I just love them. And I now I moved. I kind of sold a bunch because I don't think we're going back to England ever, if at all. Especially now that I've got an American kid.
Yeah, yeah. It's better to stay here.
Yeah, I'm staying.
Yeah, you're locked in now, baby.
Yeah, you're like that.
Get your chip and then get yourself some guns.
I got to ride out a little bit. I got to ride out the current visa storm.
Yeah,
so like an idiot has caused.
Yeah,
but, I can hang in there for. I got 6 years left on my visa, and then I can get my citizenship. So, but yeah, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna bring it over, and it's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
Well, I will tell you. So we started talking about Texas Mile. If you bring it over to the U.S., or when you do, I should say, twice a year, there is a 1 mile run. It happens in Victoria, where I live. And it's all about high speed, seeing what you can do in 1 mile. There's all manner of cars, like I said, from Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Mustangs, Corvettes, Camaros. You say it's probably out there running to see what it can do. So that's pretty badass if you bring it over and just say, hey, I just want to come to the mile and run.
It sounds like fun. Well, another time I'll tell you some of the fun
and I will
stories.
put you up. You can stay at my house.
Amazing.
Stay in the heresy bed.
You can stay in the heresy bed. Yes, exactly.
Okay, speaking of heresy.
I mean, my last highlight of the year is I'm a big fan of the novels. I don't know if you guys are. I don't know. I've read every single one.
Yes.
Some of them multiple times. Prospero Burns, I think I've read 7 times. I love this year how in some ways it feels like, like a train, if it brakes too hard and all the carriages just come smashing into it. It almost feels like this year it's been them just going, we've got to get to fucking Terra. And all the announcements, the fact that they're kind of moving the series name into the Battle for Terra or the War for Terra or whatever. So I just feel like it's been a really good year for the novels. I've really enjoyed them all. I even enjoyed that Ultramarines one, the Spear of Ultramar. Is it called the Spear of Ultramar? I think the sort of novella that just came out. You should know, George. You're a big fan of the Ultramarines.
Yeah, but I haven't paid that much attention to the book.
Oh,
I think that does sound
that was English sarcasm, George.
I picked up on that.
But that was a great book, and I'm into Titan Death now. So I'm loving that they've given us this kind of end in sight, and they've said 10 books, and I think there's one more after Titan Death, which is the James Swallow Dagger of something or other. It's going to tell the story of the Death Guard turning to properly
terminal test, baby.
Yeah, properly saying. So anyway, I've held the floor for too long, but that was a big highlight for me.
Nice.
Awesome. We're gonna go ahead, jump to Devin. Devin, what were your highlights of the year?
I'd have to say probably the biggest highlight was Jamie coming out here. That was really fun being able to play some Heresy with him. And we have such a small Heresy community out here, so we don't get other players to really enjoy the game with very often. So that was really nice, and he was an awesome guy to hang out with. And even when his Gal Vorback are tearing things apart.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you found it.
That wasn't the best. Yeah, the best way to meet someone was like, by the way, I'm going to charge your unit with 9 Gal Vorback. You're that kind of dick.
Hold my dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was probably my Heresy highlight for this year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do any Heresy at Adepticon this year, so that was kind of sad. Just had a wedding I had to dip out for, so I only got to spend 2 days at Adepticon. But really just kind of looking forward to what 2019 is going to bring.
Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, only good things. Jakey Poo,
So for me, let's see. I think my biggest hobby highlights of the year is number one, got to be Adepticon. It was my first time going. It was my first time traveling that far for an event. Going to Adepticon really made me understand the community. You know, I thought I had a pretty good grasp, and it turns out like it's one of those times where, you know, like we've said before, where you meet people that you've only talked to online or, you know, in a podcast or, you know, and it's literally like you're already brother, like you already know each other. Like, I don't know, like I can't even describe how awesome Adepticon was. I mean, I drove up there, you know, with one guy that I knew that I picked up in Nashville, David Sampson.
Oh,
But
Sampson.
you know, I ran around, like I stayed in a room with 3 people that I'd never met in real life before. You know, I played games against all kinds of cool people. I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning playing, you know, Thousand Suns versus Space Wolves, Magnus versus Lehman Russ with Sean. I don't know, like it was the most incredible hobby, you know, heresy gaming experience that everybody should go. That's just, I'll leave it at that. I would say probably my second biggest part of heresy and hobby would be that for the first time, I ran my own event this year at the local ATC. And it was a very big learning experience for me. It was something that I'd never done before, but I mean, I'd been on the fringes of, I'd participated in a lot. I had helped with running a lot of events, but as far as being the guy in charge, you know, coming up with the stuff, making sure people are paying money. There's nothing more nerve-wracking than people paying money and driving like 8 to 10 hours to come and play in your event, and you're responsible for making sure they have a good time. Like that makes me a nervous fucking wreck. Mm-hmm. And luckily, you know, pretty good at the attendance that we really want. We had between 6 and 8 players, depending on the night. But it turned out to be a really good event. But it also gave me, number one, confidence, and number 2, experience. So now I know, you know, next time when we do it next year, you know, how can we do it better? How can we do it bigger? You know, what can we do to make it better? Thirdly would probably be going and traveling to Texas and playing with Pretty. That would definitely be on the list. Number one, because it's just traveling to see your hobby bros. Like, you know, we're all heresy brothers, and that just reinforces that in my mind of, you know, buying a plane ticket and going to hang out and watch cars go really fast, and then at the same time play a little heresy and have a good time. And I would say though too, from a hobby aspect, this year I've probably elevated my painting. And it's not even that I've necessarily gotten better at painting. I don't think it's that I've started trying things that I never had tried before. And, you know, things like, you know, using your chipping fluid or hairspray, things like using, you know, oils and washes and things, you know, trying new things, transfers, you know, my Space Wolves are the first army that I've ever put, you know, transfers on every model, you know, microset and microsol. I've tried in 2018 to really go the extra mile. And a lot of that is because of the, you know, the hobby groups that I'm in, and, you know, guys like George who are sending us shit that looks awesome all the time and making me go, okay, well, I'm no longer happy with where I was. I need to try to, I may not get to that level, but I need to try to see how far I can get.
Jake, you can be honest with what you actually said to yourself, which should probably have been, well, even some dumbass like George can figure it out. I can.
But I would definitely say that's probably one of my biggest hobby highlights, heresy highlights, is trying new things, and not all of it's good. You know, I've got 2 or 3 Space Wolf models that are pretty much ruined that I'm going to have to strip. That sucks. But it was all steps to get me to where I am now. And like I said, I'm not a good painter. I'm not a super, you know, expert at all this shit. I'm not Miles, you know, I'm not like a pro painter guy, but you can get results that you are happy with by trying new techniques, by learning new things, by applying things, and just taking the time to learn stuff and to apply it to your hobby. And you can come up with something that you're extremely happy with. And that's where I am now. So,
you know,
and your Wolves are a fantastic example of that. They really came out awesome.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You know, speaking of, you know, pushing the envelope, you know, Devin and I have had conversations, and he's been in the same boat where he has been putting in conscious effort to really try and improve his skills. Not to say that, he had a damn good looking army, and he's just working to push it even further and taking the time, learn those new techniques, to try new things, taking that risk with the chance that it might not work out. And Devin went to the Bug Eater GT back in June and won Best Painted Army.
Attaboy.
Because, and it's been fun for me because I feel like a mentor to a lot of people, because people ask me, not that I'm that good at painting or anything, but people are asking me how I do this and how I do that, and then they're taking well, here's how I do it. They're trying it themselves. They're adapting the process that I gave them, and they're making it their own and pushing it and getting better, and it's just the results that people are getting are just incredible. And that's something that I've kind of railed against in the past, is when you put that much work in, it's absolutely infuriating to me, because all they're saying is, no, I don't want to put in the time. I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to try and get better, and you guys specifically have not done that. You said, okay, I'm going to try this. It might not work out, but I'm going to try this. And you guys are fucking smashing it right now, and like I said, it probably not my place to feel this, but I feel awfully damn proud of you guys for the work you've been putting in and the results you're getting. Where, looking at Jake's Wolves, I want to just kind of take the stuff I'm working at and throw it against the wall, because it's like, these wolves look fucking incredible, and Devin's salamanders are just freaking, on fire, Pun may or may not have been intended, but
but that's what this community is for, right? And that's when I say that it's a tight knit community. It's the kind of thing where, I was part of the 40K community at large for a very, very long time. From about 2000 until I started playing Heresy, probably in 2014, 2015. But one thing that to me is unique about the Horus Heresy group, the community, is that we're always pushing ourselves and communicating and learning. And it's the Facebook groups that I'm in, it's the Facebook chats that I'm in, it's it's the podcasters that I hang out with, that we're all showing each other new things, and we're each posting something. You'll see something somebody else posts, and you go, that's awesome. I want to see. I want to raise my level to try to get to that. And it's a very much a giving community that is all about elevating your hobby. I don't know. I never felt that motivated before. When I go to a 40K tournament, and I'm not shitting on 40K. This is just my personal experience. When I went to a 40K tournament, it was, I need to get 3 colors on this thing. I need to get it base coated. I need to get the bolter painted. I need to get, it was base colors, and that's it. If I put a wash on that model, that was a step above what I normally did. And that was probably a step above what a lot of other folks were doing that I would play against. Because the most important thing at that point in time, it was going to a tournament and seeing how good your list could do compared to somebody else. But with the Heresy community, it's all about, I don't know, it's about how good your army looks. It's about making sure that you put the maximum amount of effort to get the best result, and then having an awesome game against your opponent that tells a story and that adds to the overall narrative of your event. And that's something that I learned over this, especially, going to Adepticon, running my own event, going to David Sampson's event up in Nashville. It's just the Circular Cygnus event, where you start going to these events and you start realizing what the Heresy community is about. And it's about, bringing kick-ass looking models, putting them on a tabletop and telling a story and having a kick-ass time. And that to me, that's my Heresy, highlight for 2018 or 29. Where are we? 18. Sorry, I'm in FY19 at work, and so I get confused. So yeah, calendar year 2018. That's my hobby highlight.
Awesome. Well, it looks like Pretty has muted himself. So we'll see what his highlights are here in a minute. I'll try and make mine quick, just because it's been the whole year. It's just been absolutely incredible. it started, of course, again, with Jamie coming to visit and play Heresy, and we did more than just play Heresy. We shot guns. I took him out for some barbecue and pizza and beer, and it's great Heresy time.
You're amazing kids, George. Tell those boys I miss them, by the way.
I will. They have been asking about you ever since.
Kids are amazing.
And they know that Jamie comes from England now.
Yeah.
And then of course, just the games I got to play, the models that I got painted. I was just so happy with, every single model that I got painted this year. And then, like a jackass, I volunteered to get to fly down to Texas and get tased if the telethon raised enough money, and tased my own butt cheek on live YouTube.
Hey George, can we tase you at Adepticon just for the fun of it?
No. Fucking not.
What if it's a surprise tasing? Yeah.
Hey George.
Me and Devin are on the same page. I'm glad. This is good.
George.
Taser shoved up their asshole.
George.
What?
It's still right here on the desk. Hasn't moved since you were here. So.
I bet his cheeks clenched when you did that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I kind of had the feeling that's what he was going for.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on back there?
My wife just turned up with her boobs out.
Wait, let me rewind. Hang on.
And bringing drinks. My God, man, you have got, if you look up keeper in the dictionary, your wife's picture is next to it.
That's hilarious. She's just feeding the baby. I was like, can you just bring the beer in a minute? And I forgot to tell her we were on an actual hangout, so she just nearly burst in with the boobs out.
I respect that.
I was not presenting that.
Oh well, let's not tell her it's going on YouTube.
No, it's not live. It's not happening. So, cheers.
Yeah. So
my drink is absolutely empty. So he's all shut. I'm gonna shut the door.
Going down to Texas was a huge highlight. Had so much fun down there. Got to go see Josh, his shop, and got myself a freaking Grimm Brothers cup, which I have at work every single day.
And what else did you do while at his shop?
I got to shoot the freaking 1919.
There you go.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I really wish I had a video of that, but just pictures of me holding it are pretty good too.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bummer partway through the year because Dave kind of started to lose his hard on for Heresy, but he's definitely getting it back and doing a lot of stuff to get some really awesome stuff going in the Heresy. So that's another huge highlight. But it's just the whole year has been great, and it could not have been any better. So, Pretty, you're up. What's been your highlight?
So I've got a couple. Adepticon. So I'm not going to dig into Adepticon because that's pretty much a yearly highlight. That's one of my hobby focuses. It's one of my hobby things that I do each year. So it's nothing new there. But I want to instead talk about just some of the folks that came to Texas from the hobby, and in specific, George and Jake this year. And I want to mention that because it's, again, I talked about earlier, it's why a hobby. It's why I am in this hobby. It's, making friends, it's meeting these dudes. Both of these guys came to Texas to play games, to hang out. George to be part of the telethon, to get shocked, hopefully, on the telethon as part of it. Jake came to the Texas Mile, but we also played some Heresy, and we had a great time outside of that.
We had breakfast tacos.
Oh, shit, yeah, breakfast tacos. If you're not a fan of Don Jose's breakfast tacos,
whatever. I keep calling it Don Julio's.
Then get the fuck out.
Yeah. Don Jose's is a breakfast staple in my household, so these dudes got to feel it firsthand. But again, this year the Heresy was more about the friends that I made than anything else. Yeah, we played some games. I played games with both Jake and George. But it was more about the friends and the relationships, forged, from the heresy than anything else. Did do an escalation league earlier in the year for heresy. We got like 6 new dudes into the heresy in our local area, which was awesome. Jamie mentioned earlier that there's some 40K progress. Same here. I did actually join a 40K escalation league at the behest of one of my buddies, and I've got 40K Mechanicum and 40K Rogue Trader, and I bought Black Fortress to support that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go on the side real quick. Black Fortress is some of the most beautiful fucking models.
Hell yeah, they are.
GW has come out with in a long time.
Yes.
Oh my God. I bought that box set. I bought it and I didn't pick it up until like 3 weeks ago, just because I was busy. This is the busy time of work for me during the year. So I'm working long days and I'm bringing work home, all that BS. So I finally got to the shop and picked up my copy, brought it home, and I was just like, holy shit, these models are gorgeous. I've got the Rogue Trader Kill Team box set. It was kind of the same thing. I bought it because the models looked fucking amazing.
Dude, I agree. Have you played the missions from it as well?
I have not yet. My goal is, so this year, or this December, and I know we don't have much left in December, but the 40K Escalation League switched to Kill Team this December. So my goal is to, fingers crossed, I start vacation 12/27, and I want to play a Kill Team or 2 before the end of the year, just to try some of that out.
I played a lot of Kill Team this year for a couple of reasons. One, I've been getting people into the hobby, new colleagues, new friends, and Kill Team's been amazing to get them in. Like one guy I know, he's bought every single box set that came out for Kill Team.
Nice.
And he never painted a miniature in his life before. So it's been an amazing gateway drug. And it's a really good game. It's super fun. When you both know what you're doing, you can get a game done inside of 40 minutes. Which, if you don't have much time but you still want to roll dice and play with spacemen, then it's just great. And I think that whole GW across the board, I think, have had the most amazing year. I just think
agreed.
The way they've changed their community, the way they reach out to the community and engage. I think in some ways they've set an even more of a kind of path for Forge World to follow now, because I think Forge World have been I don't think they thought specialist games would be as big as it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I think, with Titanicus and Blood Bowl and Necromunda just being as big as it's been, it probably speaks to why the heresy stuff has perhaps suffered a little bit. And I think in terms of the releases and stuff like that, and obviously we've just had a pretty phenomenal 2 months or whatever of releases, but Kill Team's been amazing, and I think GW's just smashed it this year. And those models, man, those Black Fortress models, and they're push fit. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can bend these off the sprue if you were 12-year-old Jamie and squish them together like Space Crusade, and you've got a game. So
I've been super. So I didn't realize, because I didn't do a lot of reading before Rogue Trader, and so when I bought that box set, I told my friend that runs a local shop, I said, hey, just give me the Rogue Trader set. It looks super cool. I want to buy it. I didn't realize they were push fit. So I got it home and I was just like, oh shit, what's this? And then, so I built all the models and I put them aside. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to paint them soon. And then Black Fortress came out. So I ordered a Black Fortress set. And same thing. I got it home and I popped open the set. I looked at it. I was like, well, these are push. Oh my gosh. This is so it's so easy to get into. It's so easy to play. The models are freaking beautiful. It's just amazing. And I haven't been a 40K fan in a while, but this past year has made me more of a 40K fan than I have been in a long time, just because of what they're doing with some of the specialist games obviously, but Kill Team and just they've got rules for, hey, here's your Kill Team, but you can play them in 40K. So there's a local 40K escalation league that I kind of got talked into. So about a bunch of Diplos Mechanica stuff. And then I was like, well, I can play my Rogue Trader with those guys just due to the rules that they give them. And it's worked out pretty perfectly, actually. So I'm a huge fan of what GW is doing at the moment with regards to their games and the connectability between the games. It's
that I think that's a really interesting point, because I think one of the things that they've been doing, which I don't know how, it's not, new people probably won't pick up on it, but they're giving rules away for free across the board, right? Yep. That's what's cool. It's like, here's Rogue Trader. It's a self-contained story. There's all these missions, and you can tell this story that we've made up, and it was brilliant, right? And especially if you're our age and you can remember Rogue Trader.
Oh, for sure.
It kind of tickles that little kind of old itch, right? But then it's like, oh, by the way, here's the 40K rules if you want them, or here's the Kill Team rules if you want them, right? It's not like they're trying to sell you another book. And then they did the same with Black Fortress, and I feel like they've figured out that we just want to play with our toys, and we'll spend more money on toys and if they just give us the rules, right? Yeah. And I hope that we see a bit more of that. And like the big one that I think was super interesting was they beta tested an entire codex for 40K in the new Adeptus Sororitas, right? So the beta codex is just in chapter approved, and I won't wank on too much about 40K. But what's cool is they've put a codex out and said, hey, here it is. Tell us what you think. Yeah. Now, if you flip that into our world, imagine if they put out 1,000 Suns and gone, tell us what you think. Or here's the Custodes. Tell us what you think. Imagine how different Book 7 would be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? For sure. 100%.
And I just really hope that Forge World find the people, because they need people, right? They're not a big company. They need people to go in. But they follow that rule set of the Prime now and say, okay, let's engage even more with this community, because we do care, and we really do. We don't just want dick smashing lists, right? We want to have something fun, and I think people would feedback. And all the bullshit online, all the people that are screaming, that it's a small percentage of the actual, it's the vocal minority, right? So I hope that they follow suit.
Yeah, no, that's an extremely valid point, and I think that that's what they need to be hearing right now. And I'm hoping that they're open to it. I see so many good things coming out. 40K. I didn't play 40K. Yeah, I left 40K right before 7th came out because I was just unhappy with the direction it was going. But looking at what they've been doing over the since then, and buying. If you would have told me a year ago, like, oh, you're going to buy Adeptus Mechanicus models, I'm like, fuck you, whatever. I'm not buying that. But I've got probably $500 in Adeptus Mechanicus models right now for this league.
Really, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah, but the reason being because they've set out, and when I've talked to the folks running the league and I've talked to the players in it, it seems so much more like 30K than it's ever been in the past. It's like, I can play a story and I can build this force to play the story, and then I can buy these Rogue Traders to support my force in this story. That's awesome. And I get to play with a super good buddy of mine that I've had for 20 years, who we've been unaligned in games since Heresy came out. Now we're aligned again. Why wouldn't I want to do that? That's freaking cool to me. So, I'm excited about it. Where does it go? I don't know. I hope they continue what they're doing. I hope they continue supporting these different play styles, supporting, like here's Black Fortress, and here's rules you can use for these multiple play styles, which I think is badass. I support that 100% because they've got cool models. Here's some Heresy. No, we'll see where it goes, but I'm the most optimistic about GW and the entire line, not just 30K, but the entire line, as I've been in a long time. So that's not a bad thing in my mind.
I agree.
Nope. Good things going forward. So
Yeah.
If we just hop back on the rails here real quick, is there anything else you'd like to add for your highlights, Heresy highlights of 2018?
I don't have anything to add, but George.
Number
if you
one,
don't mind-
Jake. Number two, George. Number three, Adepticon, maybe. I mean, that's really.
I was just gonna say I don't have anything to add to that. But on the next topic, because I'm gonna have to bow out pretty down quick due to work.
All right. So
Um,
what you want Heresy Santa to put under your tree?
You want to go first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
You go first. That way you can go to bed.
Yeah, because I apologize, guys. I've got to go be at work at the crack of dawn in the morning.
Pretty's
drop
got this thing called life and responsibility that he has to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah,
Drop it like it's pretty.
my next day off is Christmas Day, so I've got a few days left to go.
Oof.
Thoughts and prayers, baby.
Yeah, lots of prayers. So, what do I wish from Heresy Santa? First off, foremost, Book 8. My wish from Heresy Santa, if he was to bring me anything, was that by the Weekender we have Book 8, pre-release.
So excited about paying that extra like 28% plus sales tax for that thing.
I'm not even getting into that. I'm ignoring that totally. I'm just saying by the
Jake,
Weekender.
I'll hook you up, Jake. I'll hook you up with my
Oh,
contact.
there you go.
My man.
By the Weekender, we have Book 8, pre-release. By Adepticon, we have Book 8 released, and then at the Weekender, we have Book 9 previewed. That's my biggest wish. If you look at anything on Heresy, that's my biggest wish. We got Book 8 and the immediate horizon, Book 9 and the horizon, so to speak, and we know where we're heading at this point, because right now we've had some great releases over the last probably 6 weeks or so with the Blood Angel stuff and some snippets of what Book 8 might be. We had the Christmas party Twitch today, which I did not see because I was working, but for when I read online, it was some spoilers, and demons may be amongst the top, which we thought, releases. But that's if we get Book 8 by full release by Adepticon, pre-release, some snippets and spoilers by Adepticon, I'll be happy with that. Stuff I'm working on now, there's nothing coming out in the interim that affects it, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing to get ready for my games and just look forward to the new Black Books. And take it away, somebody else.
Awesome. Devin?
And that's the Covenant of Fire Pretty right there.
Yep. Yeah. And I do apologize, guys. I am gonna have to bow out because I have
Night,
to
brother.
go at the crack of dawn. So,
Not
love
pretty.
you
Thank you.
High five, man.
Jamie, I am actually gonna message you offline about cars and shit.
All
We're
right,
gonna,
do
talk, we're gonna talk more about this.
Pretty,
Hey,
let's just
you guys-
start
you guys
let's
have
start a
something-
group.
Yes,
You guys
that's true.
also have something else you need to a little project you need to work on, get it out by Christmas. Don't forget that.
What, 62 vet?
No, your rap project.
My rap? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna talk to Jamie about that too. I thought you with the Corvette. I was like, that's not gonna be done by Christmas. That's just a few days away. We just replaced the gas tank on that, so
Oh, nice.
we're a little farther out than Christmas. But spring, Texas Mile might see the vet out representing at that time.
Nice.
Good luck, man.
Jamie, you need to just tell me right now that you're coming to Adepticon 2019 so I can add you to our Adepticon Accountability Buddies group.
Yes, please.
Well, look, why don't you do this? Add me, because then it will shame me to do whatever I can to get there.
Oh, there you
Done.
go. Let's do it.
Fucking
How about
done.
How about that?
Nice.
All right. I love you guys.
All
Love
right.
you, brother.
You pretty. Love you.
All right.
Miss you.
Easy.
All right, Devin, what do you have for your what you want from Heresy Santa?
Oh, I would love to see some salamander like Praetor and different things like they did with the Blood Angels for the salamanders. I mean, I know that they've said that they're going to try and do several of the different legions with their own Praetors and different models that are going to be coming out to just kind of refresh and go back and touch each different legion. But I would love to see that for them.
Awesome. Anything else?
Ooh. I would like to see, Pretty was kind of talking about it, but like a direction for Heresy, because it felt a lot like, they were working really hard on the specialist games, and they kind of got caught up with that, and that Heresy kind of, I don't want to say it didn't really suffer, but it sort of stagnated for a bit. It didn't feel like there was really anything going on, at least from Forge World's end. I would like to see them really pushing a narrative or something like that, or maybe taking advantage of where Black Library is at and pushing a narrative with Heresy through that. But
I like that idea. That's neat.
Yeah, that would be just so we can know where we're going.
Yeah,
we may not know how we're going to get there, but we know where we're headed.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Jake, what's on your wish list from Heresy Santa?
All right, so number one on my wish list for Heresy Santa is obviously going to be the Forge World fuck ups that they need to fix. Like,
amen, brother.
Vulcan, number one, needs a master craft. He is the fucking master fucking crafter. He deserves a master crafted Thunderhammer, right? Like, Dawnbringer was built to be given to the War Master as Vulcan held on to it because he was like, I don't know, guys, this is a pretty devastating weapon. Like, he's the master crafter. Everything he makes should be fucking master crafted.
Well,
I don't give a fuck what it is.
He's master crafting everything with the hammer, so he can't he's trying to figure out how to master craft.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind over this shit. Like, he needs a master crafted fucking hammer. All right, Dawnbringer should be master crafted. That's where I'll leave that. Number two, part of number one, fixing shit that should have been fixed. This Space Wolf banana fur bullshit. Like, we need some shit that, like, here's what I don't get, and this is really, man, I've drank too much bourbon, but what really pisses me off is if you look at Leman Russ, right? Leman Russ is awesome. His fur cloak looks incredible. You look at the Space Wolf Dreadnought, for example. He's got a big tabard that is made out of wolf fur on the backside and tanned on the inside. It looks awesome. Like, whoever did the fur on that, it's incredible. Like, why wouldn't you just copy that shit? Like, you already have it. Make the fucking Space Wolf shit look like Leman Russ. Make the fur match Leman Russ. Problem solved, right? Okay.
Yes, I agree.
So there's some little shit they need to fucking do, so that way I don't have to press mold Leman Russ's cloak every time I want to do shit with my fuck me. Anyway,
I'll grab my keys.
Yeah, come on down, baby. I'm here all night. I guess the other thing, if Heresy Santa, and it's not me bitching about Forge World and their fucking banana fur and shitty rules. I don't know, man. Like, probably just fucking Heresy, peace, and joy, baby. Like, fucking Adepticon 2019. Like, that's what I want. And I want book 8 in my hands. And I want demons to be, number 1, playable, number 2, to be fun to play against, and number 3, to have really kick-ass awesome rules that represent what they're supposed to do on the battlefield. Because I think that demons could add a really cool element to what what's cool about Heresy is that it's kind of balanced, because pretty much everything is either Marines or just regular old dudes. And it's very easy to upset that apple cart. So I really hope that when the demons drop, they make a lot of sense. The rules are really cool and fun and thematic. Make me want to paint more of my demons that I have, because I don't have a I'm a super loyalist guy. Like, I don't know why. Like, that's just what I'm about. And I keep telling myself I'm going to build a legion that is, that's devoted to Horus. I ain't done it, but I do have demons because I think demons are cool. So this is going to be my Traitor Legion, essentially. So I really hope that the rules, number one, make sense. Number two, are fun to play against, because there's nothing worse than being the guy that has the army that you really want that has rules that are too good, because then you feel bad. I know guys like, for example, in 40K, you have Eldar. And, Eldar would always get, when they got their codex, it was always just super shitty. And they were unfun to play against, and everything sucked. But you have these guys that played Eldar, with that 3rd edition codex through 4th edition, through 5th edition, into 6th edition. And when they got their codex, they almost had to apologize for playing the Legion that they loved. Or not the Legion, but the army that they loved. And that's a shame. You shouldn't have to apologize for that. The rules should be good enough to where, and balanced enough to where the army that you love, you can play in that style, which is what's awesome about Heresy. Because in my opinion, the Legion rules, the armies, the militia rules, the Mechanicus rules, all of those are designed to where they play. Like, if I read a Black Library novel and then I go and build a Salamanders list, like, they match. It's super cool. If I go and I look at book 7, I look at the Space Wolves rules, they match in my brain everything that a Space Wolves army should be. And I can build an army that in my mind makes sense and looks like a typical Space Wolf army. And it plays well, and it plays to the fluff, and it plays to all the things that I love about Space Wolves. I hope, if Heresy Santa's bringing anything, I hope that he brings rules for the demons that make them really unique and different, but also balanced and fun to play against. And then my third thing, if I could ask for anything from Heresy Santa, would be to take the Dark Angels and put them in like book 18. Because fuck them, that's why.
All right, Jamie. So you went to the mall, you sat down on Heresy Santa's lap. What did you tell Heresy Santa that you wanted?
Well, the first thing I want is a lot of what Jake just said, but in an English accent.
Jake, do it. Do the English accent.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I don't even know how to do it in English. I don't know that I've ever tried.
Jake, how dare you? How dare you? Do you not know how to do an English accent? I'll do it for you. And I guess everyone's bored of hearing it, but like, the wound was ripped freshly open recently for me when the Blood Angel stuff dropped, and I was like, how did you get that so right? Yet you fucked us in the butthole with
a banana.
Of bananas.
Yeah, my ass knows exactly how big Forge World's dick is.
Like, I just don't get it. And they did a pretty good job on the Alpha Legion, and from what I hear, the same guy sculpted the Alpha Legion ones that sculpted the Space Wolves.
Yeah, because he missed the pistol grip on the fucking bolters the first time around.
Yes, he did. So I don't know. I think like part of me, I would love to say, Heresy Santa, can we go back and just have that, or just give us those things back, like or at least like give us Death Sworn and make them really fucking good. Like,
because the rules are great, but if the models come out fucking awesome, like with real fucking fur that doesn't suck and cool looking skull faces that look awesome.
Yeah. So I think I'm like, I don't want to go over again, but I felt that same thing. I was like, those Blood Angels just looked amazing. It's, in my opinion, that's how they should do a Legion launch. Like if you're going to do a book with a new Legion, you should do that. All right. And they've done it now. So they've proven that they can drop 2 Praetors and 2 Dreadnoughts. And I'm sure that we'll see some specific units nearer the time of the drop. So I won't repeat it, but everything Jake said, just imagine that in a very angry British voice.
Oi, governor, give me some fucking Space Wolves.
Yeah, there you go. That's not bad. 7 out of 10.
Hey, I'll take a 7 all day fucking long.
So, but then the other stuff I would really like, it actually kind of ties into a little thing that Devin was saying about, like, you know, almost giving us a bit more narrative. And I think they have these huge gaps between the books because the books are these giant, weighty tomes. And like Jake was saying earlier, you know, like this next book, the Blood Angels deserve the full book to tell that story. And if it is just them, no one's going to begrudge it. I don't think the Dark Angels people will begrudge it, but you know,
that's fine. We can deal with that. Fuck them.
You can live with that. But it's a good story to tell, right? It's going to be a cool, because that's ultimately what these books are. But what would be cool is, you know, imagine if in the year between, or the year and a half, or whatever it is between each book, they just gave us like a little PDF, and it's like, here's 3 missions. You know what I mean? Like, here's 3 heresy missions, and here's the context of which you could use it. You know, because we all use our imagination, and we all kind of build these things and do all these narratives. And that's a really cool thing about the heresy community is every heresy event, it's not just called Horus Heresy Event 1, right? It's like, here's the battle for some planet that we made up, and we've built our own narrative around. And we've allowed to kind of do some cool stuff, right? So I'd love for them to go, you know, here's some stuff. Every 3 months we're going to give you 2 missions for free, and it's going to be heresy based, and it's going to be fun. So I'd like that. I would like a different HQ for custodes that is not a shield captain, but is still a custode, so that I can run a HQ without everyone moaning. That would be good.
It's okay. 40K will release shield lieutenants.
yeah, whatever, you know, or just they can just call him a captain or a tribune, or, you know what I mean. Just something would be cool for custodes, so that when you put your models out, they're like, oh yeah, shield captain with a shield. So, well, he is called shield captain. That would be cool. And then the final thing I would like more than anything is I would like the Legion upgrades to be put back on sale. I don't know why. Well, I do know why they stopped doing Legion upgrades, and it was a really stupid decision.
So you gonna share that with the rest of us?
Yeah, it was accounting. Looked at the storage space and what was keeping stuff, what was in storage, and so then they just looked at the stuff that sold the least over the shortest period of time, and then just got rid of it. That was it.
I think kind of what people figured.
Yeah,
that would be sweet. That stuff would come back. I know.
I'd love to get that back. I think they were such cool kits, and you know, people used them. People bought them. Heresy people loved it.
There were more than just, you know, the upgrade kits. You know, there were all, you know, the entire Elysians,
shoulder pads,
all kinds of weapons that went away. Chaplain Dreadnought, which thankfully I got one, but
just super cool.
So yeah, those are the things I would like.
Awesome.
So, please, Santa baby.
I feel the things that I want are much more shallow than what you want. I mean, I agree with everything. It's just that, you know, the armies that I'm getting into have some really awesome stuff. You know, like the Sons of Horus have just so much stuff that's awesome. I mean, they have a beautiful Contemptor, you know, upgrade stuff and Legion models. And of course, the Ultramarines have stuff, except for the number one thing, which I'm sure everyone can probably guess at this point, is a goddamn Ultramarines branded Contemptor Dreadnought.
Oh, jeez.
Working on that for years. Hey, if you guys get to rage about the Space Wolves and their freaking bananas, I get to rage about the freaking Ultramarines Contemptor.
All right.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. But the other thing that I would like, they previewed this months and months ago, is they're saying that the Knight Armigers would get rules and upgrades for Heresy. I want to see those because my friend Brett sent me the sprues for a Knight Armiger that I've held off building because I want the Heresy rules, and they previewed like a big fuck off Volkite gun to put on it, and I'm like, I want that. Where is it? Give it to me. I want it now.
That'll probably be in book 8.
Hey, that's okay because book 8's coming soon. You know, so I mean, another box set would be kind of cool, but I'm guessing that that's not going to happen. Not going to happen for.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if they were going to do another box set, what would each of you like to see the box set be, and what would the theme of the box set be?
The theme, I don't know, but I would like to see plastic assault marines.
I second that.
Or possibly plastic breachers, although I'd be okay if they didn't because they would lose detail.
You know what might be cool?
You know what? Plastic assault marines and then plastic Demos pattern rhinos.
Ooh.
It would. What might be cool would be like a fall box with plastic breachers, Imperial Fists versus Iron Warriors.
Oh yeah,
That might be a cool.
So play on that for a minute then, right? So normally when they do a box, you'll get one thing and one thing, right? So you get
Right.
So what would be the counter to the breaches, and what would the two characters you'd like to see?
Well, at that point, you could put Galg in there, that Erasmus Galg, because he was, if I remember right, he was at Fall and he was kind of penalized for allowing the Imperial Fist dickheads to show up, right up to the door of fucking Captain Dickhead, and that's when the Iron Circle showed up afterwards, because he couldn't trust anybody. So I think breachers would definitely be a big part of that. Maybe at that point, maybe the flip side of that. So you've got Mark III breachers and then maybe some Mark II plastic tacticals.
That's nice. I like that. How about what if I just remember one of the things I should have put under my tree, but I doesn't remember. What if they went and did a totally new type of armor? So you've seen the salamander armor. Was it the salamanders in the book where it was kind of the throwback to that Terminator armor that went straight over the head?
Oh, the Saturnine?
Yeah. Drop in some crazy new totally armor.
I've seen there's some stuff on Shapeways where somebody's making essentially torsos that you put on either Cataphractii or Tartarus, I can't remember, legs, but it's the torso and like the shoulders, and it's essentially Saturnine. It actually looks pretty cool.
Or they could even do a bash box where you're getting tons of different armor types and they're mixing, so it looks more like the Remnants or the Shattered Legions sort of style.
Yeah. I just thought of one thing I want under my Christmas tree. I want Forge World to go back to what they used to do, where you could buy the resin upgrade parts for plastic vehicles separately, where like you could buy parts to convert a Rhino into a Damocles, or buy just the resin conversion parts for a Mark IIB Land Raider.
That would be, I'll tell you what, just being able to buy the Mark IIB parts would be incredible, because like in the Heresy, I mean, that's, if you have a Land Raider, that's what you want. Like you want a Blood and Skulls kit and you want Mark IIB side sponsons.
Yep. Sorry, Devin, I kind of cut you off there, bud.
Oh, you're fine.
Don't just accept that. Don't take that from him.
I've given him enough hobby supplies.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's too nice to me.
So, Devin, what would be in your new box set?
Oh, I was saying just having like a Shattered Legion sort of style with the different armor types available, where you could have maybe mixtures of all the different types of armor types, and maybe even mixed on individual Marines themselves, just to give you a totally different look.
What might be cool too is to do like so if you want to do Assault Marines, so I would do Fall if you're going to do Breachers, but if you want to do Assault Marines, you could do the Dark Angels versus Night Lords, where they were running all over the fucking galaxy, and you could do Assault Marines there, and then add Mark II as well for your First Legion for the Dark Angels. And then that gives you the ability to add like a Interrogator Chaplain type model. It gives you options for all kinds of Night Lord shit that could be really cool. I don't know. I mean, if I was doing a box set, I would probably do something because you're wanting to get new stuff out. So to me, the only new stuff in plastic that we would really want, we've already got Cataphractii, we've already got Tartarus, we've got Mark III, we've got Mark IV, and you can pretty much get Mark VI in plastic as well. If it was me, I would do Mark II somehow. I'd figure out a way to get Mark II in there and then get either Breachers or Assault Marines. And I think Fall or shit, I cannot think of the name of that campaign between the Dark Angels and the Night Lords that took place for like years and years and years. Before they left and went to Imperium Secundus.
I think a new, not totally shitty plastic Contemptor would be nice too.
Yeah.
Thramus Crusade.
Thramus, thank you.
Yeah. I you know what I'd like to see? I'm a huge fan of the Heresy armor. Is it 5?
Yeah, Mark V.
Yeah.
5 studs. And it was just one of those kits that always came out a bit funky out of the fort. Like it wasn't a very good kit. I'd love to see that in plastic. A little bit bulked out.
That duckbill helmet too is always really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd love to see that and maybe plastic jet bikes.
Ooh.
Plastic jet bikes would be huge.
Or plastic Outriders.
Yeah.
Even though they're half plastic already.
They're pretty much all plastic, George. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I have some. Well, it sounds like we've got quite the wish list. Hopefully, Forge World's listening, wink, wink, and we'll maybe take an idea or two into account. So,
Jamie, talk to your countrymen.
There you go.
Make it so.
There you go.
Leave it with me.
Well, we've been going for a good almost 2.5 hours now, fellas. So, is there anything else you guys would like to add to this Christmas holiday special extravaganza?
I think I'm going to get my Christmas wish when Devin and Jamie and George and Pretty all show up in Schaumburg, fucking Illinois on March 27th through the 29th or 30th or however, whatever the fuck it is. And we're all hanging out at Adepticon, drinking bourbon, playing games, having a good time, fucking kicking ass and taking names.
Soon.
I think that's going to happen.
I've forgotten how good. Like I love Maker's Mark, but it's been a while since I've had it, and it's like I'm sitting here. This is like my 3rd double finger glass, and I'm like, this shit is good, man. Like it's just fucking good.
Bourbon is good.
It tasted. God bless Kentucky.
I'm looking forward to it.
So I started this podcast with no, I'm not coming. And
to say this has been
happening about 3 different Adepticon groups. Jake's love guilting me into going. So
boy, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for passive shaming.
I'll be bringing my Space Wolves, Jake. So if we do, that's what's coming. So we need to find a Thousand Suns player and push that shit in.
Jamie, what you need to do is you need to get locked in. We've got. I've been talking with Jeremiah from the 500 Worlds podcast. And he's putting together a Thousand Suns versus Space Wolves like mega battle.
Oh, I saw that.
Hopefully for Friday night is kind of where we're thinking.
Well,
so are you part of the Adepticon Horus Heresy group?
No, I'm not.
All right.
And add me. I've been added to 20 groups.
Get a part of that group and then comment on there and say, I'm a Space Wolves player and I want to participate and be a cool dude and be super awesome and play with Jake and it'll be great times.
I'm bringing my entire force at a Mastodon longboat. And
he just dropped the Mastodon. Parts went flying.
It'll be fine. It's a tough.
It'll survive it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. That was just all the empty bits.
Well, I would like to say, just on behalf of the Spacemen with Guns, thanks everybody for tuning in. I know we're running a little bit longer than we normally do, but hey, that's okay because we had probably one of the best episodes ever. It's been so much fun. Get to see some friends I haven't got to see on the screen in quite a while. And like I said, this was a joint Spacemen with Guns and Covenant of Fire, so I don't want to hog all the glory. But I'm not even gonna bother putting out our contact details and all that stuff now. So I will end my involvement here by just saying thanks everybody for an incredible year of Heresy. It has been an absolute blast. The community has been a huge part of that. So with that, I would like to wish everyone a very heartfelt Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I hope everyone has a safe and happy New Year, and I look forward to all the good stuff that's going to come in 2019. So, Jake, I'll hand it over to you, my friend, to go ahead and
thank you, brother. I've had a lot of fun. We need to make this like a yearly thing. We'll do Christmas together. It'll be great. Number one, thank you, Heresy community, for being so fucking awesome. I hope to see everybody at Adepticon. It's going to be great. 2019 is going to be even better. Book 8's going to drop. Life's going to be good. Fucking bourbon is great.
Yes, it is.
With that, I think I've said all I needed to say. So may your dice always be as hot as your forge fires, baby.
Dun 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 dun.
Bow, bow.
I'm supposed to do it. I was going to do it this way, but I'm supposed to do it this way. No, this way.
Yeah, that's the way.
I can't remember the right way to do it. So
I think this way is bad in French, and this way is peace.
This way is bad
in English as well.
Yeah.
That's like fuck you.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean. I meant it like this.
The English added a finger because they couldn't be as cool as us. They were like, "Well, we can't just flip the bird to people. We have to add a finger because that makes us classy."
This is like I mean it, and this is like whatever.
Well, folks, thanks for watching and happy holidays.
That's it. Merry Christmas, baby.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Brah, 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 brah.